You're watching the 2014 SWAC Football Championship presented by McDonald's. We're at NRG Stadium in Houston for the 2014 SWAC Football Championship, where the Alcorn State Braves take on the Southern Jaguars. Hi everybody and welcome. I'm Tiffany Green. Alcorn State in search of its first ever conference title, while Southern is looking to repeat. Now these two teams met back in week 5, and the Jaguars defense was gashed for 410 yards by that Braves three-headed monster out of the backfield. They ran for 6 touchdowns. Now we know Alcorn State has a great rushing attack and they are dominant. That will be a key in today's game. And for more, we'll send it up to the guys in the booth and Mark Neely and the former NFL and Howard University quarterback Jay Walker.
It absolutely will be key. Thanks, Tiffany. We'll look forward to chatting with you down on the field during the game. Jay, she mentioned it's a 3-headed rushing attack. It becomes a 4-headed monster for Alcorn when you throw in the quarterback Gibbs.
That is Mr. John Gibbs, the SWAC co-offensive player of the year. He brings size to the rushing attack. At 6 feet 6 inches, over 200 pounds, he has the ability to hurt you with his arms and with his legs. And when he has everything really clicking on all cylinders, it's almost impossible to stop this rushing tandem for Alcorn that rushes for almost 300 yards per game on the ground.
Now, you and I were in Norman, Mississippi for that first meeting this year, which Tiffany mentioned. Southern went there and got absolutely thumped. I don't know how big a part that will play in today's game, but the Jags have not lost since that game.
They've been playing some of the best football in all of college football, and the reason being they found a quarterback. Austin Howard has emerged from a liability to now one of the respected offensive weapons in the conference. This is the team that went from averaging 30 points a game to 40 points a game. They changed their philosophy. They used to try and manage the game. Now they simply try and outscore their opponents. As you can tell, they're averaging over 40 points per game. They're going to look for a shootout here today.
So 7 straight wins for the Jags. They're wearing their Columbia blue tops with the white pants. They're technically the home team in this game. They also won the toss and deferred. So they will kick it away to Alcorn State to begin this game. Greg Pittman to kick it away for Southern, and we are set to go for this 2014 SWAC Championship from Houston, Texas. And a low kick taken at the goal line. Jarvis Turner upended at the 29-yard line. And that's where the Braves offense will begin. Braves defense taking the field against this Alcorn State offense. I mentioned the first meeting, Jay. The rushing touchdowns came in furious fashion. John Gibbs Jr., who is a junior quarterback, such an outstanding season.
From Houston, Texas, playing in front of his hometown. Just named the offensive player of the year for the conference. You know he's excited to show his hometown folks what he can do on the football field.
Anthony Williams in the backfield. Fake the handoff to him. Quick pass. Zarek Rollins out at the 32-yard line, pushed out there by cornerback DeAndre Woodland for a gain of 5.
Good play call. You know you want to come out and establish, control the line of scrimmage, running the football. Southern is committed to stopping the run. Surprise, first down. Try and get your quarterback hot in the throwing game.
Gibbs 18 TDs, 6 picks, 2,237 yards on the season coming in. This time he does hand off to Anthony Williams. Running right, met at the 35. He'll gain just a couple to the 36, tackled by McDuffie and Henry. Jay, let's take a look at our impact players.
Well, Darren Ragsdale's a special, explosive running back. He's a highlight reel type of runner. You talk about Demetrius Carter, the leading tackler for Southern University. He's going to have to be very active today because normally you don't say this, but on defense, he's a marked man. They're going to run the football directly at him, and Carter has to make some great plays.
Ragsdale, you mentioned, he'd been hurt. He's back today. He had a career-high 125 yards rushing against Southern in the first meeting. 3rd and 3 kept by Gibbs. He'll be close with the spot. Might have it. Arthur Miller, the defensive end, with the tackle. Let's see how close he came.
Trying to follow his left guard, Isaac Sampson, around, pulling, and When you have a quarterback, you like to think that forward lean can pick up the necessary yardage in short yardage situations, and they were successful in converting on third down.
Indeed. So first down, Alcorn State from their own 39-yard line. In that Braves offense in the first meeting with Southern this year, 410 rushing yards, 6 rush TDs. You know, the bugaboo for them, Jay, you'll remember, they fumbled 6 times in that game and lost 4 of them, yet somehow blew out the Jags.
That was a surprising story. That many turnovers and to run away with that football game, it was over by the third quarter.
Delandre Young motioning into the backfield. He may not have been set long enough, and the flag flies right at the snap. Our first penalty, and our referee today, Roderick Holloway.
Prior to the snap. False start. False start. 69. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And they called the right guard, Jonathan Scott. We're moving early. Junior out of Woodville, Mississippi. So pushes him back 5 yards. A 1st and 15 for the Braves. Now back at their 34. In motion comes Rollins. Fake the jet sweep to him, and there goes Gibbs. He's off to the races. The Braves quarterback caught from behind at the 15 by DeAndre Woodland, but it's a 50-yard gallop for the quarterback.
One of the favorite plays for Alcorn is fake it to the left and allow Gibbs to run to his right. He makes better decisions when he's going to the right side of the field. Can't explain it, but he does a good job. We're getting in the daylight. Great ball skills in the backfield. Becomes a foot race, and what a touchdown-saving tackle made by Southern defensively.
50-yard run. Gibbs came in the leading rusher this year for the Braves, and with that run, over 900 yards rushing for the season. Woodland, who made that tackle to save the touchdown, was shaken up a bit and comes off the field. First down, Alcorn State from the 16 of Southern on this, the first possession of the game. Rollins in motion. Gibbs keeping. Screen out to Rollins. Trying to get out to the edge, and a great open field tackle by Lamar Martin for just a gain at 2J. That could have gone for a lot more, and maybe 6.
Putting athletes in open space, but what a great tackle by Lamar Martin. Saved the touchdown. And that's what they're going to do offensively. They're going to get their playmakers in space. And Willie Simmons, the offensive coordinator, does a great job with the zone read passing game, allowing his wide receivers to really put pressure on the opposing team's defensive secondary.
Young shifts. Handed off to Williams. He collared down. I don't think it was a horse collar, but he got him by the back of the jersey. McDuffie did, and throws him down for just a gain of a yard.
And what you'll notice, this is Alcorn's base set. They put a running back offset to the right, so Gibbs can do the zone read to his left and see everything in front of him for the right side. Very rare you see a team that one-dimensional in doing it, but this is their staple play. You have to respect the weak side running game, and John Gibbs has the ability to see the whole field with his play action.
So on 3rd and 7, they line up 3 receivers to the right. Isolate Charles Hughes as the receiver at the top of the screen, but coming to the near side, complete. Payne into the end zone, touchdown, Alcorn State. 5th touchdown catch of the year for Jordan Payne, a 13-yard reception. The early statement made by the Braves.
They march down the field. They playmakers made plays in open space. You see, once they do the offset, it's a passing situation. Poor tackling, poor angles by the linebacker, and that was Demetrius Carter, number 39, who we said has to have a great football game for this defense. There, he missed a tackle, which cost him a touchdown.
Hayden McCraney on for the point after. Hayden, who was named yesterday second team all SWAC. Knocks it through. 7-0 Alcorn State, but all set up, Jay, by that big run, 50-yard run by the quarterback Gibbs. Early statement made by Alcorn State. They lead at 7-0. Southern to get the football when we come back.
good more is capturing the
ESPNU College Football Primetime is presented by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And in part by Mazda. Conviction, creativity, courage. This is the Mazda way.
Now the kickoff to the 10-yard line. Taken by Richardson. He's off. Jaleel Richardson with a nice return up to the 45. That return game's been so special for the Jags this year. Quinn and Richardson, who were back to receive that kick, have each returned kicks for touchdown this year. We'll keep an eye on their special teams for the Jags, and a nice run up to the 44. That brings out Austin Howard, a true freshman who was honored yesterday, Jay.
Freshman of the year, obvious choice, but he's really elevated this football team. And what I like, the 17 touchdowns, low 8 interceptions, but the last 7 weeks he's been the reason why this team is playing in this football game.
In motion comes Reggie Travis. Tillery is the back. He has the carry, running left, turns the corner. He's to midfield before he's tied up there at the 49 of the Braves by William Thomas.
Had an opportunity to talk to offensive coordinator Chinnis Berry before the game, and he said LT will get a lot of carries today. If we're going to win this football game, Leonard Tillery has to have a fantastic game. He's a special running back. Take a little bit of pressure off the young quarterback Austin Howard in terms of the different defensive schemes that Alcorn likes to implement.
Second and short, a second down and 2. That snap almost hit the man in motion, but the flea flicker, and he's going deep. Ball in the air, up for grabs, almost picked off. Anthony Williams Jr. there, the free safety, number 19, was the closest to catching that ball that hung up.
See, not a clean handoff and pitch back.
Oh, I thought that was a flea flicker.
Yeah, fortunate that ball wasn't on the ground. And 2 Alcorn State defenders in the secondary. You must find a different place to go with the football. Very fortunate for Southern University that was not intercepted.
Reggie Travis, the intended receiver. I caught the tail end of that rough exchange. It looked like the end of a flea flicker for a moment, but it's 3rd down and 2. Handed off Tillery. Boy, I don't think he got there. Anthony Williams Jr. and Damon Watkins able to wrap him up a little short of the 1st down.
And that's something that the adjustment has to be made. You can't run sideways versus Alcorn State. They're so fast, sideline to sideline. They're able to stop you. The moment he squared up his shoulders to go east-west instead of north-south, he was in trouble, and that's why he was short.
How seriously did Dawson Odoms think about going for it on 4th and 1 here, do you think, from the 47? He does bring out the punting unit.
I think in this atmosphere and environment, I might have gone for it. He needs to jumpstart this offense. They seem to be a little bit flat on defense, and the offense is coming up short.
Anthony Williams Jr. back receiving this punt, calling for the fair catch, and falling forward, comes up with it at the 20-yard line. Well, coming up Sunday on ESPNU, Championship Drive has 2 shows packed with analysis and debate. First at 10 a.m., analyst Rod Gilmore, Tom Luganville, and Matt Millen preview the possible solution. No, Oregon's in.
Man, they look good.
Yes, they did, especially after a little bit of a sluggish start last night.
Mario to win the Heisman last night?
Unless Gordon does something really big tonight. Big Ten championship game. Aaron Baker is the back. It's Jaborian McKenzie, the transfer from Vanderbilt, dropped for a loss. Lost 2 back towards the 17-yard line. Nice tackle by Brian McCann, number 45. McCann's an interesting guy. Also been playing some fullback for them. Kid out of Chicago. 2-way player. Primarily a defender.
He's got the build to play both sides of the football. 5'9", 245 pounds. That's a nice lead back when you're going to give short yardage situations, but also effective in run defense.
Gibbs gets rid of it in time and finds his man. A completion and a 1st down. Baker out of the backfield up to the 36-yard line before he's tackled by Brian Anderson in a 20-yard gain.
They don't see him. They don't recognize him. They run right by him. We just talked about Brian McCann, number 45. He loses Baker coming out of the backfield. That was his responsibility in the passing game. But that's what the threat of a running quarterback will do to you. You want to focus on him, and you allow the lead back to slip by you for the big game.
Baker stays in there as the back, 1st down for the Braves. This is Baker running this time. Maybe a half yard, not much there. Demetrius Carter, middle linebacker, coming up to apply the lick.
We talk about Alcorn State and the running attack. How are they able to do it? We talked about the 6'6" quarterback, who's a good one, but then you've also got Ragsdale, who's explosive, and then they go with Aaron Baker, who's got the size at 5'10", 235 pounds. He's probably up to 240 now. He was 235 when the freshman year started. Very difficult to game plan against them.
Gibbs throws, and that's picked. Threw it right to DeAndre Woodland, who returns it to the 45 of Alcorn State. Not a good throw from Gibbs, right to Woodland. First pick of the year for DeAndre Woodland, the senior.
This is miscommunication. They're going to come out with vertical routes going this way. I believe he thinks that this receiver is going to curl up and come back to the football, and that allows a defensive back right here, who's not even guarding the defender, to make the interception. Take a look. He's got deep third. He's expecting the curl-up route. It doesn't happen. Easy interception. Great job of playing deep third. And you talked about earlier in the first game when these two teams played during the season, how many turnovers for Alcorn? I will tell you now, if they turn it over 6 times today, they're going to lose the SWAC championship.
So you're going to put that one on the receivers. Here's the jet sweep. Willie Quinn changing direction a couple of times, all for 1 yard. That pass from Gibbs, you know, had some pretty good zip, tight spiral. So you're going to put that on the receiver?
Yeah, I thought there was a miscommunication. Somebody was supposed to curl up. And the quarterback, when you step into a throw like that one, he knew where he was going with the football. Is downfield about 15 yards. And
I just got to give a quarterback a chance to defend another quarterback.
Always. It's never our fault.
Midway through this first quarter, the 2014 SWAC championship from Houston, a 2nd and 8 for the defending champs. Southern, that's Tillery, stayed on his feet, then he's upended, lost the football, but I think he was down. They're ruling him down at the 39. Cantu came up with it, and I'm sure they'll probably take a look at this, but it looked like he hit the ground and then it came out.
We'll see Tillery leave his feet. He's in the air.
He's down.
Brown cannot cause the fumble. But did you notice what Southern did there, why they had success running the football? They didn't run sideways. You can't run stretch run plays against Alcorn. You have to attack them.
Well, if this is what it looks like, this would be a first down via penalty on a 3rd and short. Somebody jumped definitely across the line of scrimmage on the left side of the Alcorn State defense, but were they enticed over?
Prior to the snap, the previous play is up under review.
Oh, so no play. We need to get word down to Roderick Holloway. He needs to turn this way when he does that call.
But now that's tough. So because they're reviewing the previous play, there will be no first down for Southern University.
Will be reviewed.
I didn't see movement. Maybe we could take another look, but it looked like it was the Alcorn State team that jumped. So let's take a peek. Well, here's the last play.
And that's what they're reviewing. They're reviewing if this is a fumble or not, but he's got control of that football.
Yeah, he's down. That's a no-brainer there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the replay official wanting to take a little extra time to take a look at it.
Yeah, but this review is going to help Alcorn because the play where it appeared they jumped offside
would have been a first down.
Would have been a first down, and now they're going to face another 3rd down after this review. Jay Hobson, good look there. What a fantastic job he's done down at Alcorn State.
Think about where that program was a couple of years ago when he got there.
I mean, it was a job that really, quite honestly, there weren't a lot of people knocking down the doors, and he wanted the job. And we talked about the history. And he decided he wanted to have it. And then you talk about
the ruling on the play is confirmed. 3rd down. There's no foul on the play due to the review.
And you get the explanation there from Roderick Holloway, and that should make Jay Hobson happy for the moment because, again, his team has a chance to make a stop here on 3rd down. 3rd season for the 46-year-old from Mississippi who played at Ole Miss.
There are 0 defensive linemen in the game for Alcorn State right now. The only one they'll have, he'll probably get into a 3-point stance. That'll be it. These are the different fronts you have to look at. when you're taking on this defense.
Throw by Howard, deflected, incomplete, and it's 4th down. Hendrick Taylor, the nickelback, came in, number 30, to get a hand on that pass. So the way it turns out, unless Southern's going to go for it here on 4th and 3, which it looks like they will not, that call or non-call, I should say, Jay, a big one on this drive.
Helped out Alcorn State, as we mentioned, and we thought it would. Dawson Odom's defensive coordinator for Southern University, also the head coach. And normally when you have defensive coordinators as head coaches, they tend to play by the numbers, more conservative. Very few 4th down attempts.
Well, the offense for the Jags, 2 possessions, 2 3-and-outs. Paul Randall Soden's punt with Anthony Williams seeing that sail over his head and go into the end zone for a touchback. Alcorn State will have the football for a 3rd time when we come back with 6:14 to play in this first quarter from Houston.
The camera.
Welcome back to the 2014 SWAC Football Championship presented by McDonald's. And we ask that you help us beat cancer. The V Foundation awards 100% of direct donations and net proceeds of events to fund cancer research. Log on to jimmyv.org or call 1-800-4JIMMY-V to donate. The number 1-800-4JIMMY-V. 3rd possession for Alcorn State. They lead it 7-0. Kept and the slide. Carter, 7-yard run for Gibbs.
Back to that base play, zone read to the left side. Can't explain it, but John Gibbs stands out with his decision making when the running back crosses his formation from right to left. Doing a great job on the left side. Isaac Sampson and Antonio Dade, I'm sure they have something to do with the success as well.
Fakes the handoff to Ragsdale, keeps again. 1st down run, still on his feet across the 40 to the 45. And a 1st down run up to the 46-yard line for Gibbs. That time he goes for 19 yards.
Once again, going to that left side, sees everything come across. Great decision in the run game. Caps it off with extra yards after contact.
4 rushes now for the quarterback Gibbs and 79 yards. 50 of those yards came on 1 run. That last one again for 19. 1st down from their 46. And they moved. It'll be a 1st and 15.
False start. 6-6 offense. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
At that against the 1st team all conference left tackle Antonio Dade, but I think there may have been some others.
He had company. That was the offensive line. They work in unison on that left side, and both Dade and Sampson moved before the snap.
Showing blitz here. They come off the edge. There's Gibbs. Throws a strike to Rollins. He's close to a 1st down at the 45-yard line of Southern.
When they go to the offset formation, they're going to move the pocket. Look at the nice strong throw. Watch Gibbs step into it. When he steps into his throws, he's a good one.
Gained over 14, not quite 15, so it's a 2nd and short, 2nd and less than a yard. Payne with a 13-yard touchdown catch for the Braves. That's been the lone score so far here in this first quarter. Gibbs rolling out, sets up, throws to the sideline, and a catch by Rollins. He's down inbounds, then pushed out at the 35, 1st down.
Big time. This is the offensive player of the year telling you he's the best football player on the field right now. Watch the pressure get in his face, but then once he leaves, watch him get hit when he delivers his ball. When you know it's coming, that's when it's hard as a quarterback to really test your moxie and stay in the pocket. He knew he was going to get hit, was willing to take the hit in order to deliver a pass downfield. That is quarterback play at its finest.
It was Raheem Ledbetter who applied the hit, the transfer from Florida. And there's Gibbs, quick pass, trying to set up a screen that was well read. Rollins, the intended receiver of that screen pass, incomplete. Brian McCain helping out on the coverage. That's the first pass that Gibbs has thrown, though, today, Jay, that has actually hit the turf. 6 completions, 1 interception, but the first one to actually hit the ground.
Alcorn continuing to have success moving the football versus this Jaguar defense. The key for them, can they convert in the red zone once they get there, and also protecting the football.
First carry, nope. That's Gibbs who still keeps it. Fake the handoff to Ragsdale, and there goes Gibbs again, still driving the pile inside the 15. 6'6", close to 200 pounds. Man, he's tough to break down. 22-yard run.
The run across the face of the quarterback left side, he just sees things better. And then this is all Gibbs. He just wants it. Bouncing off of would-be tacklers. You cannot arm tackle a 6'6" quarterback that has mobility. You must wrap, get the shoulder into him, hold on to the legs. But they're trying to arm tackle this young man with no success.
First down, Braves at the 13. Williams there at the left of Gibbs. Gibbs looking left, going towards the end zone, and missed-targeted there. Jarvis Turner, not sure what happened, Jay.
Second time, I think, where we've had miscommunication in the passing game. And you ask why that would happen, give credit to the Southern defense. They're giving them a look, forcing the receivers to convert their patterns, and they're not on the same page with the quarterback.
Incompletion stops the clock with 3:24 to play in the first quarter. Alcorn State has never played in this SWAC championship game, the game which was created in 1999. Last time they won the conference championship back in '94, which they shared with Grambling State that year. This time the give to Anthony Williams, wrapped up at the 10 by Demetrius Carter at 3-yard gain. Carter, their leading tackler, that's his 95th of the season.
You mentioned Southern played in this game a year ago and won the football game, and Coach Odoms really thought that experience would show up here today. Alcorn, program reaching heights it hasn't reached since Steve McNair. How would they handle the pressurized football conditions you have here? And they seem to be doing a good job thus far, while Southern is getting pushed around on defense and offensively yet to come up with a nice drive.
Gibbs has plenty of time. At that time, he did misfire over Jarvis Turner. That one certainly didn't appear to be miscommunication.
He missed a throw. And that was one there where Turner was open early. He decided to hold on for it for a hitch. And he's telling him, I was open, give the ball to me, but he lost his rhythm there. And now Alcorn's going to be forced to settle for a field goal attempt.
27-yard attempt for Hayden McCraney. 7-11 in field goal attempts this year, as long as 47. Has had one block, but this one from just inside the left hash. Out of the hole to Rollins. That one is true, and Alcorn State settling for a field goal on their third possession of the game. And with 2:34 left in the first quarter of this SWAC championship game, it's 10-0 Braves.
Kansas State, Baylor, tonight on ESPN.
Started my Camry, went to the auction, won a storage locker, found an old guitar. Tracked down the previous owner. Reunited them. Hit the jackpot.
The bold new Camry. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, Tony. Hey, Scott. Just finished up the show. Guess I'm gonna head on out of here.
Cool.
Go home and watch some television or something.
All right, enjoy.
If you owe the IRS or state $10,000 or more in back taxes, the time to settle your tax debt is now. The IRS will practically stop at nothing to collect. They can garnish your paycheck, levy your personal bank accounts, and even seize your home or business. But don't worry, I'm Dwight the Knight, and I know how to fight the IRS. Me and my team of tax professionals can remove wage garnishments, lift bank levies, stop collection activity, and negotiate settlements directly with the IRS. Newly authorized debt forgiveness programs allow you to settle your tax debt for less than ever allowed before. You could save thousands and become debt-free in the process. Call today for a free tax analysis and find out if you qualify. Even if you're facing an audit or have years of unfiled returns, we can help. Call me, Dwight the Knight, your financial knight in shining armor.
Call 1-800-824-9167. Again, that's 1-800-824-9167.
Today.
10-0 Alcorn State leading, 2:34 to play in the first quarter. And for the 24th year, the best college football players in the nation will be honored at the Home Depot College Football Awards. You can join the game day team Thursday at 7 Eastern on ESPN. They come to you from the Walt Disney World Resort for a night that is a celebration of the year in college football. Make sure you do not miss it. Red carpet special beginning at 6 Eastern on ESPNU. 10-0 Alcorn State leading this 2014 SWAC Championship from the NFL home of the Houston Texans NRG Stadium. Houston, Texas. Richardson and Quinn back deep. Short kick taken at the 12 by Richardson. Still on his feet, but then stumbles down the 18-yard line. You know, one of the awards that will be given out on Thursday night, Jay, the Davey O'Brien Award for the best quarterback. Those numbers for Boykin does not include today. TCU beat Iowa State 55-3. Mariota, who's certainly a Heisman candidate, if not the front runner, then Prescott. Who do you like?
Obviously, everybody's playing for second place in that battle there. I mean, the numbers never lie, and plus the performance on the field. I think Marcus Mariota is going to win that one easily. Prescott played well all throughout the season, kind of faltered a little bit towards the end of the season. Trayvon Boykin, I believe, the most improved player in college football this year.
Boykin, by the way, today 460 yards, 4 TDs, 1 pick. And the TCU win. Here's a carry, Tillery, which I'm going to ask you quickly. Is TCU now the second team in? Does it matter what Baylor does tonight?
Well, I have a problem with, yes.
Head-to-head, you still going?
I still go with Baylor, beat them head-to-head. What's the point of playing each other if that's not going to tell you who the best team is?
Then TCU is going to say, well, that was in Waco.
Doesn't matter. Not where the schedule put them.
I'm just playing devil's advocate with you, partner.
I understand, but, you know, I also think Florida State should still be #1.
Yeah, I've got an argument there. The only unbeaten team. Second down and 8. Quickly wrapped up. There's Montrell Jones. Who's in? As I say that as a question. Oregon is in. The question is, are they going to be 1 or 2, depending on Mizzou, Alabama, which is going on now. If Alabama wins the SEC, I think the top 2 teams are pretty well set. Alabama's up 7, by the way.
Yep, and Oregon clinches it right there in. But TCU with a dominating performance, they should clinch, but no, because Baylor's right there, and Baylor beat them head-to-head. So this is going to be interesting. I mean,
it is interesting, no doubt about that. Now, a lot of things going on. Here's the throw by Howard going deep down the near sideline and just out of reach. Looking for Reggie Travis, the 6'3" senior, actually graduate student. Just off the fingertips.
And for Southern University, they need to pick up a couple first downs. Just a little bit too much mustard on that throw there. But, you know, they played their rivalry game versus Grambling State last weekend, and that was such an emotional game. With the winner of that game, we knew would make it to the championship game, and I think they're coming out a little bit flat. You know, the emotional drain from that game seems to be showing here early, because they don't seem like a motivated team right now, offensively or defensively.
Don't have a first down yet. 3 possessions, 3 and outs. Williams back. Received the punt from Paul Randall Soden. That's bouncing. Taken by Southern. Did that hit the Alcorn State player? That's the question. Jamal Jenkins, number 35 for Southern, who came up with it. Let's take another look and see if this punt hits the Braves player.
The ruling on the play is that the punt was touched by the receiving team.
That's going to be close.
By the kicking team, The ball belongs to Southern at the spot of recovery. First down.
Looked like it hit his right foot, or could have hit his right foot. I'm sure this would be a review.
It's DeAndre Smith, number 40 there. Oh, you know, that's tough.
And it goes back to, I don't know if there's enough to overturn the call on the field.
Which now is that it's recovered by Southern.
That the ball was touched by the receiving team.
Let's see what we have here. It's coming. And I will say this, the ball took a funny hop a little bit.
But is that just the spin of the ball? But, you know, if this call had gone the other way, I don't think it would be overturned either. From what we see from that angle.
That right there looked like it didn't hit him. If we can go back, take a look at that. Well, I think it actually, I believe the dirt.
Yeah, I think it missed him.
I believe it missed him.
You know, we're on this artificial surface which has those, you know, those black rubberized pellets, you know, which are, from what I believe, those look like ground up tires. And that's what comes up.
Yep.
So you see that kind of shower of the black pellets, but I don't think it hit him. Now, I said I don't think, Jay, but I'm not the replay official that has to make the call on this to say that that's enough to overturn the call on the field.
And when I talk to Harold Mitchell, the supervisor of officials for the conference, he always says, you know, we're in unison. You have to be 100% sure it did not touch him in order to override this call.
I'm 95% sure, so that doesn't change the call, though.
You're not
according
100%
to those parameters.
Sure?
Yeah.
Would you put your children on it that the ball didn't touch
No,
him?
I'm not going to do that.
The ruling on the field stands. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line.
Well,
first down.
as we assume, call stands. Wasn't confirmed. Stands being the operative word there. Tiffany has more down below. Tiffany?
Well, guys, John Gibbs Jr. doesn't want to be known as just a quarterback who can make plays with his feet. He wants to be known as a great passer. And so this summer, he flew out to California to work with the quarterback's coach, to work on his fundamentals. But he also spent a lot of time with his quarterback's coach, Fred McNair, the brother of Steve McNair. They broke down film, and he said the one thing they all have in common is the knowledge of the game. Guys?
Thanks, Tiffany. The original Aaron McNair, Fred. The assistant head coach, quarterback coach for the Braves. Well, maybe this is the break that Southern was looking for, though, Jay. They hadn't been able to do much here offensively. They get a call to go their way.
They needed something, and I think they need to continue to try and pound the football in the middle of the field and challenge the defense from Alcorn.
Tillery using a stiff arm. Close to a first down. That's Quentin Cantu, who came up and made the nice tackle, but paid a price for it. Tillery.
But take a look here. What do you think the hole is? Right when we get here, he's avoiding contact. I think right now, if you hug this lineman here or come this way, you're going to get more yards. He's bouncing outside too quick, and he's avoiding contact and bouncing it, and I don't believe you have success running to the outside versus Alcorn State.
They did pick up their first down of the game. Crockett's now in there. Malcolm Crockett tackled by Cantu. First carry for Crockett, junior out of Washington, D.C.
And what you have to do when you have a small defensive line that's relying on speed rather than muscle, you have to let your linemen get their hands on them and finish off the block. Take your time as a running back getting to the hole so the big fellas can take over and mass can win the battle.
That's the end of the first quarter. The 13-yard TD catch by Payne and McCraney's 27-yard field goal. After one in the 2014 SWAC Championship game, it's 10-0 Alcorn State.
Florida State.
Forget.
We begin the second quarter of the 2014 SWAC Championship game. 10-0 Alcorn State. Southern, though, with their best drive so far, trying to take advantage of a Braves turnover. A second down. Howard going to take off and slides down around the 16-yard line, tackled by Darian Moody. Let's take a look at the numbers from the first quarter, Jay. And quite frankly, when you take a look at them, Southern's probably fortunate to only be down 10-0.
Yes, and now the key is throw the first quarter out. They really didn't show up. Now they need to take advantage of the turnover on special teams and put some points on the board.
Tillery straight ahead.
And that's what you have to do. Take them off. Can't run from them. Can't run away from them. Smash mouth football, up the gut. Challenge them with your offensive linemen and see if you can get the job done running the football that way.
First down for Southern. 13-yard line of Alcorn State. Tillery
picked it up.
Yes.
6 yards per carry.
Second team all-conference this year, just announced yesterday. Right back to Tillery, running right, has some blocking, finds a crease to the 5. Down near the 1. Looking like a different runner now on this drive, Jay.
Starting to get it, not running from contact, and watch him set up the pulling guards. You got a pulling guard, pulling tackle, give him a move to the outside, cut inside, then hard nose, pick up an extra yards towards the end zone. It's going to be a physical game, young man. Don't run from the contact. Take it all.
7th play of this drive. The previous 6 have all been running plays. They stay with it. Tillery stopped. Stood up by Hendrick Taylor.
Another one. I think he missed the hole. Watch him hop in the hole and get leveled by Taylor. When he's coming, he gets the ball, lower the shoulder, and come inside. Come here. He's going to try and hop outside because that's what he's doing. And watch what happens. Waiting for you. Textbook tackle by Taylor.
Should have never had the chance to make that stop, though.
You can't bunny hop down on the 1-yard line.
Flag.
There's no foul on the play. Timeout, Alcorn.
Look at this.
Correction. Timeout. Alcorn.
That's a timeout for. I'm not sure who the timeout's on right now, but our referee, Roderick Holloway, paid the price. Well, the Jimmy V Classic is back on ESPN. It's live from Madison Square Garden. First, 10th ranked Villanova and 24th ranked Illinois. Louisiana Tech taking on Syracuse on Sunday, December 14th. That's Holiday Hoops presented by K Jewelers at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. And then UNC Wilmington against number 5 Louisville. That's at 6 Eastern. Again, Holiday Hoops presented by K Jewelers.
I'll give you an early storyline for college hoops.
What you got?
Besides New Jersey Institute of Technology.
Beating Michigan today.
How about the boys from the Ivy League? Didn't Yale knock off
UConn?
UConn?
They did. It was a seemingly similar ending that UConn faced against Texas just a few days before with a 3 from the left corner. And the defending champs swooning a little bit in non-conference play.
You know, Kevin Ollie, that's my homeboy from L.A., so he'll get his act together.
Well, he's got the ring from last year, so I think he's all right. Well, here early in this second quarter of the 2014 SWAC Championship, 10-0 Alcorn State. No question Southern needs some points here, Jay. A 6 would be a much bigger statement than a field goal attempt.
Clearly. And they have to play smash mouth. I think they're going to have to show they can do it. Quarterback under center, handoff, and run downhill.
A timeout which was charged to the Braves, and nowhere. Tillery hit in the backfield by Damon Watkins for a loss back to the 5.
Statement. They have a small defense for plays like this. This is the team that has 101 tackles for losses on the season. You're going to see them just get behind the pulling guard. That's great football instinct. He saw the guard was pulling and had the speed to catch the running back behind the pulling lineman. And on the 1-yard line, they do a good job of their offensive line schematically, but I think you have to call middle wedge. Don't pull anybody versus a team that's quick and they like to shoot gaps.
Well, it was 1st and goal from the 1. Now it's 3rd and goal from the 4. And the play clock runs out, or did they get a timeout?
There's no foul for delay of the game on the offense. Southern requested and granted a timeout. Their first charge, timeout.
So that one charged to Southern. Unfortunately, referee Roderick Holloway not run over that time. With 12:22 to go in this first half. Hey, Jay, while we get a moment, why don't you Give me 5 with your power rankings.
I don't know if I'm going to make a lot of friends with this one, Mark. But this is the end of the year. One game left, we'll see. But right now, power ranking, North Carolina Central, fantastic job by Coach Mack. They're number 5, A&T and Grambling on the bubble. Number 4, Southern University. You're watching them right now. Can they move up? I don't know. Number 3 is Morgan State University. Great job by the Bears. Number 2, I got to go with what I saw. Bethune-Cookman, very good football team, ranked in the top 25. And the number 1 team right now is Alcorn State. If they win this football game, I think they have a great opportunity of clinching the HBCU National Championship. If it goes away from them, we're going to modify that list, and I will modify it on the spot. But right now, Alcorn State, I think, is in a great position to claim possibly championship.
Well, the last HBCU national title for the Braves would have been, what, 84? Got to go back a ways?
Yeah. Hate to say it, but I kept them from winning one when we beat McNair my senior year. We won the title.
Didn't sound like you hated saying that, but that's just me talking. Big 3rd down and goal for Southern. Broken up.
Where's the flag?
Hendrick Taylor.
Oh, wow.
On the coverage, number 30 once again. 4th down.
He got his hand on the ball, but he was grabbing him. And maybe the official can't see it, but he has him wrapped around. That right arm was completely on the wide receiver. Be on the right side. It happens quickly, but he's draped. You see him, he almost has him around the neck.
That was the best look there. Greg Pittman on for a field goal attempt. 21 yards. And that one is through. So Pittman hits a 21-yard field goal to get the Jags on the board. It's 10-3 early in this second quarter. 1-800-4-JIMMY-V to donate. Glad to have you with us from Houston, Texas, the 2014 SWAC Championship game. 10-3, Alcorn State leading Southern. Southern kicking off, and the short kick taken at the 9 by Jarvis Turner. Makes a hurdle at the 20 to the 25, tackled at the 26-yard line.
One of the things that Alcorn State has done with Hopkins as a head coach, Hobson as the head coach, is they've really brought athletes. You know, when he first took over the job, he said, we have some of the best junior college football players in the country playing down here in the state of Mississippi. And those guys can play, and they are so athletic. We talk about the wide receivers in open space, tough to bring down. Defensively, they're flying around the football. He's built this program for the long haul with the formula that's been successful, and this team has been on the rise ever since he stepped foot on the campus at Lorman and trying to top it off with the SWAC championship.
Here's the carry for Ragsdale. Got by Monroe for a gain of 1. You know, Jay Hobson, when he took the job, the Braves were coming off a 2-win season and a last place finish. Jumped up to 4, and then last year actually come into this game with the same overall record in conference record as they did a year ago, but able to make it to the championship game this year.
And I think 9 wins, they should have had the 10-win season, but they lost to Jackson State. That rivalry game they have.
And don't forget about Southern winning the title last year.
Beating Jackson State in overtime. What a fantastic game that was.
Yeah, 2 OTs right here in this building. Here's Ragsdale weaving to the 32, hanging on to the football, tackled by DeAndre Woodland. Jags trying to make it back-to-back SWAC championships. Woodland's had an interesting day already. He's been involved in a lot there defensively and on special teams. As an interception. Third down and 4 for the Braves from their 32-yard line. They converted 2 of 3 so far on third down.
I think they're going to run it.
Gibbs. Forward progress is still going to be a loss back to the 28. And now that is not a wise choice by Southern. Pushing them all the way back to the 10. Donald Phillips, number 56, and others there. Taking that play out a little too long for the officials' liking.
They're going to give him a first down now. I mean, they've got him stopped. And as they're pushing, that's fine. You play to the whistle, then they blow the whistle and take him down. Costly mistake by Donald Phillips.
Personal foul Late hit, number 56, defense. 15 yards added to the end of the run. Automatic, first down.
Well, I know the Southern fans are booing, but that's the right call. That was just not smart.
You could have flagged him for continuing to push him down field, for 10 yards. But then when you take him to the ground, the official clearly has to call that. What a crucial penalty.
Yeah, instead of coming off the field, the Southern defense has to stay out there, and the Braves have a first down now all the way up at their own 48-yard line. I'm sure Dawson Odoms, who is the defensive coordinator as well as the head coach, steamed inside right now. Couldn't get his defense off the field. Gibbs' pass out to McKenzie. He may have lost a yard there. He's pushed out of bounds. Blake Monroe.
Here's that Southern has decided to play more man coverage and really force John Gibbs to throw the football down the field in order to have success. They're not playing off, not allowing them the simple underneath throws. But at the same time, that exposes them to the deep ball in one-on-one coverage.
Kept Gibbs to the 45-yard line of Southern before he's tackled by DeAndre Woodland.
When you decide to play man-to-man coverage, you don't assign anybody to the quarterback. So when the quarterback can get past the defensive line, they're normally able to pick up big yards.
Shrinks it down to a manageable 3rd down and 2. Again, this drive extended for Alcorn State due to a personal foul penalty against Southern.
I think you run the ball here. This is 2-down territory.
Baker cuts back. First down, 35-30, tripped up. That may have been a touchdown saving tackle. Woodland and Bryant Anderson, 15-yard run for Aaron Baker.
They bring in the big back because it's a short yardage situation, and he finds a crease. And look at the blocking upfield by number 66, the Antonio Dade, all-conference lineman, and you see why.
Another run here. This one for Darian Ragsdale, all the way inside the 20. And they're hurrying up the tempo, the Braves are. And a timeout. And Alcorn State offense finding its stride again and using some tempo has Southern off balance. .901 to play in this first half. 10-3. Alcorn State leading Southern. They're going to take this time to measure to see Braves have the first down. And by half the length of the football, it is a first down. Well, ESPNU's coverage of the 2014 Women's College Cup begins Sunday at 1. 4th-ranked Virginia will play for its first national championship title against number 2-ranked Florida State. They're competing in their 3rd ever national championship game, presented by Northwestern Mutual.
ACC supremacy down.
Both teams looking for their first national championship. Neither has actually won it all. Well, by all rights, the Southern defense should be sitting on the sideline right now, Jay, but they're not.
And now they're back against the walls, and I think it was a good timeout by Coach Odoms. He realized what was taking place. Alcorn went to the hurry-up offense. They were starting to break off those big runs, wearing down the defense. He wants to just make sure that they're on the same page defensively, because those were some huge holes that the running backs were running through.
Dawson Odoms, who won the SWAC championship here last year in his first season as the Southern head coach, won the SWAC West Division, then the SWAC title, and he was also last year's SWAC Coach of the Year.
And he's done a good job there. I mean, you know, Southern University, I always say that they have high expectations down there. They have a number of reasons. I mean, they have the largest fan base in HBCU football. They travel better than others. They invest in the program. So they have expectations there. They expect to compete for titles. And he's done a great job of silencing some critics. Bumpy first year, but ever since then, he's got a team that starts to take on his identity, and with an opportunity to take home back-to-back SWAC championships.
Yeah, this is his second full season. He became the interim head coach 2 games into the 2012 season. Boy, your average yards per play heavily favoring the Braves. They have a first down at the 19 of the Jags. Aaron Baker cuts back and advances to the 12-yard line, wrapped up by Gabe Eccles, the nose tackle. 7-yard run.
Really impressed with Aaron Baker. He's a big back, and he knows how to run like a big back. 235 pounds. Doesn't run from the contact, and the moment you embrace for contact, he's nifty with his footwork and can make the first tackler miss.
Yeah, of that 4-headed rushing monster for Alcorn, he's the one that probably is the most different from the other 3, isn't he, because of his size?
Because of his size and his running style.
Straight ahead, a cut, and into the end zone, Anthony Williams. He zipped right past Brian Anderson, and a 12-yard touchdown run for the Braves.
They run the ball effectively, and watch him get to the second level. Number 79 seals the edge. That's Isaac Sampson, and Brian Anderson comes up from the free safety position. Athletic move by Anthony Williams to get into the end zone.
Al Yonke coming on here for the point after. Out of the hold is Eric Rollins. Knocked through by Yonke. 8:20 to play, first half. Touchdown run for Williams. Zipped right past Anderson. 17-3. 17-3 Alcorn State after the touchdown run for Williams. And in case you missed it, video of that touchdown now posted on the Sports Center app, available on your mobile devices and tablets whenever you need it. Took under 4 minutes, that 8-play 74-yard drive. And really, not for the personal foul penalty against the Southern defense, the Jaguars offense should have gotten the football back, trying to march downfield for a game-tying touchdown. Instead, they're down 2 scores now.
Costly penalty, but a good team will make you pay for those type of miscues, and give credit for Alcorn for marching down the field.
And Squibb taken at the 25-yard line and running east-west. Tyree Bracken loses a couple of yards on the return. Right now, things going the Braves' way. And how crucial is this offensive drive, Jay, for Southern?
Well, the reason why they've improved has been because of Austin Howard. And I think Austin Howard hasn't been called upon to make a couple big plays in this game yet. It's time for Austin Howard right now to show that he is the future of that program. As a quarterback, you need to score. You can't let this game get away from you. And I think they're going to have to trust Austin Howard on this series right now, that he can lead the team down the field and put some points on the board.
Just one completion so far for the freshman Austin Howard today. Hillary started to come in the game, but now he runs back to the sideline. They have 11 on the field and are ready for the snap. Handed off and a spin by Malcolm Crockett. Nice run of 9 yards on first down before he's tackled by Devon Francois.
That's the type of run they're going to need. Hard-nosed running to help out the freshman quarterback.
Handed off again to Crockett. He carry the pile for the first down to the 37. Watkins and Anthony Williams with the tackle.
And Crockett start feeding him. You can tell he's feeling it. He knows it's going to be physical. He's not trying to run to the sidelines. He's trying to pick up positive yards hitting the hole full speed.
Crockett, a 5'10", 200-pound junior out of Washington, D.C., who had some ankle issues this year that caused him to miss some time. Played fake. Howard off his back foot, just throws it out of bounds. Closest to it, there was number 24, the cornerback Warren Gatewood.
And this looks like a freshman quarterback, not reading coverages, not knowing what he's looking at. He gets a flash and he leaves the pocket. He had time in the pocket and he scrambled to the side where he had no receivers running to that side of the field. Everything was designed to go left. He scrambled to the right when he didn't have to leave the pocket and threw it away.
Three receivers again to the left, and this time running right. Crockett able to hang on to the football to the 44-yard line. And Robertson with the tackle, run of 7.
Set up the blockers, take your time, and once you allow the block to take place, then you can cut upfield and take on would-be tacklers.
William Thomas, number 51, tried to strip that ball, but Crockett hung on, bouncing off a few tacklers there. Devon Francois and Watkins with the tackle of Crockett. Just a gain of 1.
What do you do now? I don't think you change your stripes. If you didn't go for it early on 4th and 1 around this side of the field, now it becomes 4th and 2.
Yeah, this time I agree with the punt.
Yeah. Even though they need some points desperately.
If you don't make it, this game could be over in a hurry. Got to play a little field position. Anthony Williams back at his own 25. You see the Paul Randall Soden punt. Fair catch. Taken at the 20. 6:08 left. First half after that 35-yard punt.
ESPNU College Football Primetime is brought to you by Joseph A. Bank. We fit most everyone. JOSbank.com.
Florida State, Georgia Tech, tonight, ABC.
AJ Green, he's just like you, except he's in a commercial. Got hands like glue and just bought a 10,000-gallon saltwater fish tank. Otherwise, he do what you do. Drives to work.
Today.
The 5th offensive possession coming up for Alcorn State. Their first 4J, 3 resulting in scores. The only one that didn't is when Gibbs was picked.
They've been able to move the football, an offense that averages 495 yards total offense per game, and they're on their way to hitting that total again. I think what's really made the difference is the running game starting to show up. They came out throwing the ball a little bit, and then they went back to being who they are, a team that likes to run the football for 290 yards per game, and it's really starting to control the line of scrimmage versus Southern's defensive line.
Going to go to 2 backs, Anthony Williams and Aaron Baker. Running right, getting around the edge and still on his feet. There goes Anthony Williams, run out by Brian Anderson.
We mentioned earlier, our offensive coordinator Willie Simmons does a great job of putting his playmakers in open space. Every time you see him catching the football, they're 4 or 5 yards away from the defender, even if it's behind the line of scrimmage. But they have faith that that open field tackler is not going to make the tackle. And you see there, great job by Williams making the catch and picking up the first down with the yards after the catch.
11-yard gain, first down on the Braves 31. Send Williams in motion, throw it out to him. It's a nice blocking, 40-45 midfield, a flag though back at the 40. Ryan Anderson knocking him out of bounds. Maybe the blocking was a little too good for that 22-yard run.
During the run, holding, number 12, offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, first down.
Wide receiver Brandon Vessel called for the hold. He's a guy who has the reputation of being an excellent blocker on the edge.
They don't throw him many footballs.
No, that only has 8 catches this year. Does have 2 TD catches of those 8, though.
Yeah, he's a guy, his job is to seal the edge. Get a good look there. That's offensive coordinator Willie Simmons there. Many people know him from his Clemson days, standout quarterback there. doing a fantastic job down in Alcorn.
So getting that from the spot of the foul. It's a 1st and 9. Takes the handoff to Baker. Throws low. A sliding attempt by Shed. Incomplete. Really Shed, the intended receiver. Senior out of Starkville, Mississippi.
And this is where you want Gibbs to step into the throw. He gets a little long with his base, loses his power, and misses the ball down. Kind of dies on him because of lack of velocity. If he works on this, he's going to be okay. But look at that over-the-top downward motion, and the ball just goes down. And for a 6'6" quarterback, you don't want to throw down. You want to keep it on that level plane. That should be an easy completion for him to make.
Good look on that last replay. Certainly was an incomplete pass. 2nd down and 9. Hand it off. Aaron Baker for a few up to the 34. I'll just give him 1. Tackled by Brian McCann.
Something we're seeing Southern do. They realize that they're having trouble stopping the run to the left side, so they're starting to play and over front that side. Even though they have 3 defensive linemen, they're cheating in that side, challenging Alcorn to run the ball to the right.
3rd down and 8. That Southern defense trying to get off the field. And the last drive they were in a similar spot of the field, and committed a bad personal foul penalty to extend the drive, and a whistle at the snap here and a flag. False start.
Prior to the snap, false start, 7 offense, 5-yard penalty, remain 3rd down.
Jordan Payne, wide receiver, also kind of plays a tight end spot at times. He moved early, and it'll push him back, making it 3rd and 13. Gibbs dumps it off to Baker. Breaks 2 tackles, but not the 3rd and 4th at the 35-yard line. As Blake Monroe came up to make the hit. An 8-yard gain, but it will be 4th down.
Be careful if you're Alcorn right now. Willie Quinn's back, along with Danny Johnson, 2 of the best return men you'll see in the conference.
Quinn has a punt return for touchdown at Jackson State this year. First punt of the game for the Braves. Quinn from the 15, 25, 30. He's got blocking. Willie Quinn is gone. 86-yard punt return for touchdown. All previewed by Karnak Walker.
I told you, be careful if you're Alcorn. He can do it. And look what happens. Once he lines you up in open space, it's a foot race, great vision, and not going to happen, number 69. Don't waste your time. Willie Quinn showing you why he's one of the most explosive players in the SWAC.
His 2nd punt return for touchdown this year.
I did kind of call that, didn't I?
Yeah, I'm going to give you credit on that one, partner. And the point after, we thought special teams, Jay, may be a big part of this game for Southern. It came true right there and has made it a game again.
Willie Quinn showing you, I'm coming to the pay dirt. You're not going to catch me. 17-10.
Nearly a century ago.
We'll have your HBCU report all coming up at half, guys.
Looking forward to that, Matt. Thanks very much. Here at the SWAC Championship from Houston, Texas. Special teams, Willie Quinn, 86-yard punt return for touchdown, has gotten the Jags right back in this game. Southern trying to repeat as SWAC champions. Alcorn State looking for their first SWAC title in a long time. 1994 the last time. Greg Pittman kicking off for the Jaguars. Jarvis Turner from the 5. Trying to make a little magic of his own on special teams. He's out of bounds. Couldn't strut his way totally past the kicker. 37-yard return, though. Let's take a look at the SWAC news and notes, and the awards came out yesterday, Jay.
Malcolm Cyrus had a fantastic senior season at Alabama State, running the football, and we talked about John Gibbs. And Jerome Howard, tackling machine for Prairie View A&M. Disappointing year for the Panthers, but he did a good job. And Broderick Fromm, surprise, surprise, Coach of the Year in the conference for his work at Grambling.
So the co-offensive conference player of the year, along with Malcolm Cyrus. Gibbs back on the field. Whistle at the snap.
False start, 79. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Remain first down.
It's against Isaac Sampson, who's first team all-conference named yesterday. But that's the 4th false start now against Alcorn State.
And they've stopped some of their drives on 3 of those occasions. So they had an early lead. Now they only up by a touchdown. You realize you must finish off the half. And it's very similar to what happened when they played in Mississippi earlier this year. They didn't finish off the half and allowed Southern to have hope at halftime.
Gibbs ankle tackled at the 40. Needs about 3. I think that was Arthur Miley, one of the defensive ends, who was able to trip him up.
This is an important 2 minutes and 30 seconds right now in this half. Alcorn needs to finish. They've fallen flat a little bit. Southern electrified the crowd on special teams return. I think if Alcorn goes into halftime with a 7-point lead, that'll be disappointing for Braves fans.
Gibbs, nice catch at the 40 by McKenzie. Jaborian breaks a tackle. Nice block coming back. Get him across midfield to the 44-yard line of Southern, a 15-yard gain.
In open space again, they're going to put pressure on your secondary. Can you make the tackle in open space? And Southern has been yet to do a good job. Lamar Martin misses the tackle in the open field. Good move by McKenzie.
Billy Shedd, number 13, who came back, put that block on late in the run. You see the rushing yard, passing yards, I should say, now 110. Now is he going to throw back? He does to Gibbs, who has some blocking help, but then loses the football. It does roll out of bounds before Southern can recover it. Ledbetter knocked it out. Braves trying a little gadget play there, Jane. It almost backfired.
This was close. I wasn't so convinced that this was a lateral pass, but he's looking plenty of time to throw the ball. In good pursuit.
The intent was to be the use of the beanbag for the ball becoming loose. 2nd down.
No flag on the play. It is a 2nd down from the Southern 39. 2nd and 5. Ragsdale to back. Landry Young, the fullback. Gibbs throws. Oh, and he threw a strike that time. 1st down inside the 20 to Charles Hughes. He put that one in a small window with Danny Johnson right on top of Hughes.
We call that a pro throw right there. Very small window, had about a ½ a yard room for error. And watch him step into this throw and deliver a strike. And that's great coverage by Danny Johnson. A good job by the wide receiver, extending, catching the ball with his hands, not allowing it to go to his body to help out his quarterback.
1st down, Braves. Under a minute to go in this 1st half. Gain at just 1. Arthur Miley, the tackle of Gibbs that time.
And we see that they're continuing to run the ball to the left side. And Southern has made the adjustment.
Timeout.
John Gibbs running the football.
Second charge.
Braves will have 1 timeout left as they use 1 here. Well, we're close. Tomorrow, Sunday, the selection committee's final rankings revealed. Find out who's in the college football playoff selection show presented by AT&T, Sunday at 12:30 Eastern on ESPN and watch ESPN.
Oregon is in.
Yeah, I think that's 99.9999%.
So your turn. Give me another team is in.
Well, Alabama is leading Missouri right now in the SEC championship game, so I'll say Crimson Tide.
Yep.
Is that TCU fans down here in Texas don't want to know if they are in after thumping Iowa State today 55-3, though Baylor yet to play.
Yeah. If Florida State wins, and I mean, keep in mind Baylor will gain some points because they're taking on a Kansas State team that's ranked. So, you know, they start looking at your resume of work, your body of work, and teams you've defeated. I think if Baylor wins, I think they should leapfrog TCU. And what about if Ohio State wins? Just can't get in? Is there anything they can do?
It's an interesting game for a lot of reasons, obviously, because of their quarterback situation and what's going on above them in the rankings. You know what's really weird? Say Missouri comes back in the second half of that game and beats Alabama. I know that doesn't sound likely right now, but could the SEC get shut out of the 4 teams?
I think they would.
That's probably a long shot, but you know, Mizzou's still got a chance. It's a 14-3 Alabama lead over Mizzou right now, second quarter. Here's 17-10. Alcorn State leading Southern in the SWAC Championship game. Batted down, incomplete. Lamar Martin, number 41.
And they've been doing that on a continual basis, bringing linebackers off the edge. One that forces your quarterback to stay in the pocket. What he does is read what he likes to do, but he's coming off the edge, and great job of anticipating the throw. That's not as easy as it looks. The quarterback is making that throw so often, they pump fake and get you in the air. That was a good job by Martin.
Big third down here for the Braves, 39 with 32 seconds left in the first half.
They've got a number advantage throwing the ball, top of your screen.
Gibbs across the middle, finds his man, Hughes, first down, almost into the end zone. Stopped just shy by DeAndre Woodland. They stopped the clock to move the chains. They do have a timeout. First and goal from the 1.
And you almost wonder how to get so wide open. Good job of running the drag route underneath all the way across the formation.
Quick snap. Ragsdale stopped. He's kept out, and the Braves will have to use a timeout. Their last. Deontay McDuffie, the safety, came up to make the tackle, and that hit. 15 seconds left in the half. Yeah, how did Charles Hughes get so wide open on that previous play, Jim?
They distracted you. They made you think everything was coming to the right side, but you see him just come underneath, get a little rub there. Oh, a little push. There goes our guy again. That was Brandon Vessel. Number 12, a little rub across the formation. Pick play. Got away with it. He didn't call it.
Let's take a look at our primetime spotlight for tonight. The quarterbacks, Petty apparently okay with the concussive symptoms. He will play. Kansas State. You know, Kansas State's maybe been the overlooked team in this TCU Baylor argument.
Yep.
Of course, Jameis Winston in Florida State. If somehow they won ugly again and slipped out of the top 4, that would be the biggest travesty. I think most people would agree, even though I know there are a lot of fans out there waiting for Florida State to finally trip up. But Jameis Winston and the Seminoles may not indulge them now.
I mean, if they go undefeated, I mean, that speaks for itself. Undefeated's undefeated. You can only beat the teams on your schedule, and at the end, you judge them by who scores the most points.
And I know every season is its own entity, but they are the defending national champions, too. All right, no timeouts left for Alcorn State. They're up by 7, 16 seconds to go. The play clock is at 15. And Gibbs goes to the back of the end zone too high for Zarek Rollins. So a 3rd and goal with 13 seconds left. One more chance to stick it in the end zone. With no timeouts, though, Jay, I assume you're one more chance to stick it in the end zone on third down. It has to be a pass play. Huh?
Yeah, you have to throw it. Plenty of room down at the bottom. Throw a fade route. Number 5.
Gibbs. Nice catch. Did he hang on? Yes. Touchdown. Billy Shedd. 4th touchdown catch of the year for the senior from Starkville, Mississippi.
And you ask yourself again, how did he get so wide open? He comes across the formation, sets him up. Just a battle of leverage and a nice accurate throw. You had Shedd taking on McCain one-on-one. Good job holding on, making the catch.
Now Yankees point after. 10-play drive. Just under 3 minutes, and the extra point makes it 24-10. Alcorn State with just 8 seconds remaining in the first half. Pretty big drive there for the junior quarterback, John Gibbs.
We said they have to answer. He made some big throws during that drive. He stuck a skinny post in there, and the throw there at the end for the touchdown. And that's what you have to do. They lost momentum. And we said this was a very important 2.5 minutes left in this half. And that was what you call a championship type drive, maybe responding back, putting some points on the board and gaining momentum going into the locker room.
Alcorn State looking for their first SWAC championship since '94 when they shared it with Grambling State. That's prior to the SWAC developing their championship game, which they did in 1999. Last time Alcorn State won it outright, the SWAC, was back in '92. Southern needs a rally to repeat as SWAC champions.
Think there's any chance they kick it deep into the end zone?
I wouldn't think so. You got to script this here, don't you? You can't give them a shot with just 8 seconds left in the half to do what they did.
I would tell the kicker, don't even mark off your 5 yards. Don't do that. Just 3 yards away, just kick the ball down the middle.
Willie Quinn, an 86-yard punt return for touchdown earlier in the second quarter. He does have a 98-yard kickoff return for touchdown at Prairie View A&M. September 20th. I think they took your advice to heart. Southern to be at their own 47. I think you probably would have liked to see they get a little deeper, though.
Yeah, it hit the up man and ricocheted, and a great job by Southern on special teams of actually securing the football. And I think now you can take a shot.
And you got a timeout.
Yeah. I think you can call one play, try and pick up a couple yards, and then maybe make a throw into the end zone. A Hail Mary.
Let's see what.
I don't see a big sense of urgency from Austin Howard as he's walking out to the field. But I get excited here. If you get an opportunity to maybe take a shot to the end zone before the half and catch a lucky break, you take the out route at the top of the screen right now. You can run a 5-yard quick out, pick up some more yards, and then make that throw to the end zone.
Howard going to go deep right here. Knocked away at the last moment inside the 5 by Mike Jones, the intended receiver. And that was Quentin Cantu on the coverage. Well, even had he caught that, time may have run out if they didn't get the timeout. And it's 24-10 at the half.
Probably would have. That's why I say you take the 5-yard out pattern or maybe 10 yards, and then you go ahead and throw it into the end zone.
Braves head coach Jay Hobson with Tiffany.
Well, Coach, your rushing attack was successful in the first half, but you've been equally as balanced with the pass. How would you characterize the way your offense plays?
That's what we try to do. We try to be a balanced football team. So right now, hopefully we're playing pretty good on both sides. Right now we got to show up our special teams, big punt return. So we just got to go in the second half and just keep playing and doing what we're doing. Defensively, you held the Jaguars to under 100 yards. What did you like most about that unit? Well, we're playing aggressive, we're playing fast, you know, and we've got some pretty good gap integrity right now. But at the end of the day, we know it's a 60-minute game. We got 30 minutes. We know they're going to come back. And, again, we still have plenty of things we got to correct right there. So we just got to come in and get better in the second half. All right, thanks, Coach. Mark?
Tiffany, Coach Hobson, thanks very much. Here at the intermission, Alcorn State leading Southern 24-10. So now let's send it to Matt Schick in the studio for the college football halftime report.
Thank you, guys. We'll get you back out there in just a little bit for our HBCU report. ESPN. Time now for your HBCU report.
Thanks, Matt. I'm still laughing at the Howard Dean comment. That was pretty good one. Thanks for the HBCU breakdown. 24-10 here at the half in Houston. But this is the time of year, Jay, when resumes become polished. What's up with the HBCU coaching vacancies?
Unfortunately for coaches, it is that time of year. And in the HBC ranks, there's some quality jobs that are available right now that everybody has their eyes on. Starting with Florida A&M, one of the most storied programs in all of HBCU football. They have an opening. Alabama State has an opening. They have the best facilities in all HBCU. And Norfolk State is open as well. Pete Adrian has retired, gone to retirement. We send our hats off to him. And you also have Prairie View A&M, which is coming open as well. Heisman Northern was let go. I'm hearing that Henry Frazier is a legitimate candidate for that job.
It's also the time of year when you start kind of laying out the history of what just happened in the season. In the MEAC, what team was really the story of the year?
The Bears from Morgan State came out of hibernation. Fantastic job by first-year head coach Lee Hull. He did a phenomenal job. The team played inspired. They won their first conference championship in over 30 years, made the school's first ever postseason playoff appearance. I think you have to give credit, and that's the story coming out the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, Morgan State football.
Let me ask you the same question for the SWAC. Which team's really been the big story in that conference?
I would say bigger than just the SWAC. I think the story of all HBCU football this year has been the return of the G-men from Grambling State University. First-year head coach Broderick Probst, who went to Grambling, raised around that campus, brought respectability back to the program. A team that had 1 win a season ago had 7 wins this season, and had they been able to pick up just 1 more yard, just 1 yard, they would have been representing the SWAC West in this championship game here. Fantastic job. Hats off to Broderick Probst.
And that's the HBCU breakdown. I would scream it like Howard Dean or Gary Patterson, but I'd blow out the headset here. But back to you in the studio. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, thanks, guys. You don't want to do that. You guys have a second. No trouble with Fordham. Alcorn State not having many problems with Southern. Anthony Williams into the end zone for the touchdown. It's Alcorn State up by 2 touchdowns in the SWAC championship game. We're at half.
Welcome back to the 2014 SWAC Football Championship presented by McDonald's. About ready to start the second half from Houston. 24-10, Alcorn State leading Southern. The Jags trying to repeat as conference champs, and their head coach Dawson Odoms down on the field right now with Tiffany.
Coach, special teams helped to spark your team here at the end of that first half. How do you think that's going to spill over, and what is it going to take for your offense to get going?
Well, you know, just a first half ball game. Ain't no reward for winning the first half. We've been here before. Had to make a couple of adjustments. We'll see how it goes in the second half. But we got a football team. They'll compete.
What adjustments are you going to make on defense to slow down the rushing attack for the Braves?
Well, we made a couple plays in the first half, but we had a penalty that kept us on the field on 3rd down. But we tweaked some things, and we're going to see how it goes.
Thanks, Coach.
Going to tweak a few things. Needs a few tweaks there, Jay.
You know, one of the concerns I had when we talked to the coaches, they pretty much said, we're going to go out and play our style of football, and we're not going to do anything drastic to change. I was a little nervous about that because, I mean, Alcorn beat them pretty bad at home. And I thought you have to make drastic changes when a team dominates you so much. And this game is very similar to that game in Mississippi where, you know, Alcorn got out to the big lead. They were getting ready to put the game away in the first half, and then Southern got a couple plays at the end to make it somewhat competitive at halftime. And then in the second half, Alcorn just manhandled them. I think now they have to do something different. What you're doing against this team has not worked. Alcorn is on their way to scoring their 40 points a game, and I don't know if Southern can afford to let that happen.
Well, that first meeting back on September 27th, 56-16, won by Alcorn State. And in this game, the rushing of Gibbs has been a huge story. This is a 50-yard run right here.
And I think what you'll see is when the line gets stronger and later in the game for Alcorn, they start to run their quarterbacks a little bit more, and that's when they start piling on with their rushing yard. So until Southern shows that they can take away the run, they're going to have to take some chances. Everybody knows when you take chances against good offenses, you get burned. It's high risk, high reward. We'll see how that plays out in the second half. But one thing was clear, Coach Odoms, he clearly wasn't going to tell Tiffany what the game plan was in the second half.
Not too surprised by that, but it was worth asking. Jaleel Richardson, Willie Quinn back deep. Southern to get the football to begin the second half. Remember, Quinn had the 86-yard punt return for touchdown in half number 1 that really sparked the Jags. Ed McCraney, the sophomore from Jackson, Mississippi, ready to boot this one away and get us going into half number 2 in the 2014 SWAC Championship game from Houston. Just outside the goal line, Jaleel Richardson stayed on his feet initially, but then pulled down at the 11-yard line. Corey Williams.
You look at Southern University, they have 10 points in the first half, and I don't think you blame it on Austin Howard. I don't think they asked him to do a lot. So, and I think that was one of the downfalls. I think you need to say, hey, he's been the reason why we've improved so much. Let's continue to do that. And I think you have to let him throw the football. I think you come out aggressive with your passing attack in the second half and see if Austin Howard can win this football game for you.
Freshman of the year, and his pass is complete to Mike Jones. Head to the 24-yard line, gain of 9. Quentin Cantu on the coverage and makes the tackle. A gain, as I mentioned, of 9. So setting up second and short.
And regardless of the outcome of that first down pass play, I like the play selection. Get your quarterback going, let him find a rhythm.
Howard going to throw again. Screen. Here's Quinn. Enough for the first down. Picks up 2 or 3. He's up to the 26. Stopped by Damon Watkins.
Another player doesn't get a lot of credit for Alcorn State. Number 55, Dion Roberson. The reason why they can play these crazy 2- and 3-man fronts is because Roberson's ability to play in and nose tackle. 20 tackles for loss on the season. He can disrupt the backfield.
He did get noted yesterday as first team all conference. Tillery out of the backfield, down the sideline, cuts in. He may go. There is some safety help. He's going to be thrown down at about the 23. They're going to mark him out at the 27. Great block by Mike Jones, wide receiver on the edge, springing it for 50 yards.
I mean, this is a great job by Tillery coming out the backfield. Mike Jones with the block, but watch Tillery set up the block. Hesitate, he sees it. Great job by Mike Jones. He stays in bounds. Becomes a foot race, and a good job by William Thomas to track him down.
Oh, William Thomas showed his wheels there, man. He was moving to catch up in that play. Anthony Williams, free safety for Alcorn State, was shaken up on the play. He's coming off the field, but here's Austin Howard with a first down.
Now you've got a backup safety in there coming in for Anthony Williams. Desmond Stevenson. This is Stevenson right here. Let's take a look and see if they go after him.
Howard swings it out to Tillery. Hard hit at the 21 by Quentin Cantu. Pickup of 6.
And it's been established that in the first half, Alcorn set the tone that this is going to be a very physical football game. Earlier in the game, we talked about Tillery avoiding contact. Now he's looking for contact, finishing off his runs. That's the help that they need to help out the young quarterback.
Howard's pass, a sliding catch, Mike Jones to the 13 for 8 yards and a first down.
We've seen Southern have some success moving the ball down the field. What we have not seen from Alcorn is a blitz. Once you back up teams inside their own red zone, they leave their comfort level. I'd look for Alcorn State to apply some pressure and try and get to the backfield.
Tyree Bracken with the carry to the edge inside the 5. He's out of bounds at the 2. Run out by Cantu.
They brought pressure on the inside, and it was great recognition to pop to the outside and spring it. Something that has not been there much of the night for Southern University, but what a great job of responding on their first possession by offensive coordinator Chinnis Berry and Chad Germany, the co-offensive coordinators.
Tyree Brackett's first carry sets up a 1st and goal. This is kept. Howard had to fight his way for a yard to the 1. He and Jameel Cooks were wrapped up, one of the defensive linemen for the Braves.
If you're going to do the read option, the zone read play, you freeze it off the end man on the line of scrimmage and take a look. You see somebody coming free, let him go. Right now, he's got you squared up. You should have given the ball to the running back and let him attack the hole. Instead, they're very fortunate that wasn't a tackle for a loss and he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage. But it's a good job by Jameel Cooks, the senior linebacker, keeping the quarterback in the pocket.
Howard hands off. Crockett, second effort. Is he in? Yes, touchdown. William Thomas had a shot at him, but Crockett fights his way in for his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year.
That's a great job by Crockett, and we noticed he established early in the first half he was going to mix it up, use the body lean, and pound out those extra yards. It gets physical down in the goal line in between the trenches. Malcolm Crockett has not shied away from the contact.
Greg Pittman, the point after. 24-17. Jay, that was a huge way for Southern to start this second half. The touchdown for Crockett makes it a 1-score game.
Nearly a century ago, 6 academic institutions joined each other in Houston, Texas. Since that time, they've developed to become one of the leading collegiate athletic associations in the world, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Be a part of history. Be a part of the SWAC experience. Stand and be counted among the best in academics, athletics, music, stewardship. We are proud of our past and value our traditions. We are the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Honor the heritage.
Introducing new Wrangler.
ESPNU College Football Primetime is brought to you by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, the perfect combination of chocolate and peanut butter.
Dusk here in Houston on a nice December Saturday. From inside what used to be Reliance Stadium, now NRG Stadium, home of the NFL Houston Texans. So we've got a good one going. In the 2014 SWAC Championship, Southern, the reigning champs, who won their first conference title in 10 years last year, trying to keep Alcorn State from winning their first conference title in 20 years. From the 4, Jarvis Turner. Swarmed under, well, still on his feet, but they do say he is out and down at the 16-yard line. Big drive, that last possession for Southern. You said even before it began, Jay, got to put it on Austin Howard. And he handled things very well on that possession.
He's the reason why they're in this football game. His play has elevated this offense to one that's potent. That last drive, he was 5 of 5 for 72 yards. That's perfection. And I think he's going to need to continue to play at that level for Southern University to have a chance of winning this football game.
Here comes the Braves offense back onto the field.
And you know what you like about this type of game? Now if you're John Gibbs, you have an opportunity to say, okay, now it's my turn. I'm the offensive player of the year, co-offensive player of the year. Time for him to come up with another clutch drive.
Gibbs swings it out to Anthony Williams. Hits the edge, but then it's thrown down for virtually no gain by Brian Anderson.
The intensity level's gone up, and I'm going to show you what Southern University's decided to do. They're going to match the physical nature of Alcorn. Watch the top of your screen when the receiver tries to block the defender for Southern. What's he going to do? Push him back 4 or 5 yards in the backfield, make it tough, take him out of his comfort space where they can continue to make those plays in the open field. Great job by this defense. It looks like they're prepared to match the intensity level here in the second half.
Gibbs fires. Well, Payne had not looked back, and it's an incomplete pass. Timing off on that one.
Listen to this crowd get into it. The Jaguars think that they have the Braves on the ropes.
3rd and 11. Flag at the snap, or at least a whistle at the snap, and it is a flag.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 11 offense. Number 11 never got set prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Wide receiver Jaborian McKenzie in the 5th false start against the Alcorn State offense today. Backs him up 5 more yards, and a 3rd and 16 from their own 10. Jaguars have only been penalized 1 time. That was the personal foul. That was a big penalty, though, that led to an Alcorn State touchdown. Gibbs fires a strike, but McKenzie nowhere near the 1st down marker. Tackled at the 19 by Ledbetter. 4th down.
Perfect job by Ledbetter. In those situations, you give up the pass underneath, come up, make the short throw. The curl route is open for a while, but he does not bite. Stays right behind the receiver. Makes the sound tackle to minimize the yards after the catch.
2 punt returners back deep. Willie Quinn, who ran one back 86 yards earlier.
And this will be interesting. Last time they punted to Willie Quinn, the punter almost outkicked his coverage. Now he's backed up. This could become a battle for field position. He's probably going to try and directional punt. Must be accurate. Whoa!
Southern, an extra point away from tying this game. And again, the Jaguars with a play on special teams. Dennis Craig recovering for the score.
They woke up the Jaguar Nation. Great penetration coming from the left side, and that's just a fantastic individual effort by Mason Caesar. One-on-one with the deflection. Poor punt block protection.
Greg Pittman's point after. Early 3rd quarter. 2 quick 2nd half touchdowns for Southern, and we are tied. How about special teams today, Jay, for the Jags? 24 all. Number 82, Dennis Craig had the recovery and touchdown after Mason Caesar, number 86, is the one who blocked it. How did Caesar get to that football, Jay?
Well, this is just a poor effort. You're going to see Caesar line up here, and this is going to be his angle, but look at the effort by Jonathan Scott. Instead of attacking this way, he comes this way with the small chicken wing type of block and doesn't get enough body on him. Coming right at you. He just gives him a little flipper. Not enough. Great job by the special teams from Southern University.
I'm trying to figure out if I like chicken wing or flipper better as the terminology for that.
A little flipper, a little chicken wing.
Hey, we're tied at 24. We're still over 10 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Another return for Jarvis Turner. 20, 25, 30 down the sideline. 35, 40. Let's check in down below on the field with Tiffany. Tiff?
Well, guys, special teams has been huge for Southern all season long. Special teams coach Marty Biaggi has spent a lot of time with this group, and this is the 2nd game that unit has scored 2 touchdowns. Today it's been a block, punt, and a punt. They have spent so much time and energy into it, and today it's paying off for them. And this sideline just absolutely erupted when Dennis Craig returned that block punt for a touchdown, guys.
Well, Tiffany Dawson-Odoms told you coming out for the 2nd half, hey, they don't award the championships for winning the 1st half.
And I think more importantly, if you're going to win a championship, we always say it sounds like a cliche, but you must be sound on offense, defense, and special teams.
Well, now let's see how Gibbs and the Alcorn State offense Try to retaliate here with Aaron Baker the catch. Somebody lost a helmet. Going to have to come out for a play.
Number 69 of Alcorn State must leave the game for one play due to his helmet coming off. Second down.
That being Jonathan Scott.
He's having a tough couple plays right now. Helmet comes off. He gives up the punt block. And I am just literally in awe, and I'm sure Alcorn is as well, how Southern has managed to stay around this football game. And now they're taking the drive to this Alcorn State offense. Instead of being attacked, they're starting to attack.
Gibbs his pass incomplete at midfield. Intended for Brandon Vessel. Vessel tried to make a late adjustment on that pass, but couldn't come up with it. Ledbetter did have the coverage.
And you wonder why they're throwing the football in this situation when they had success doing it. They're one of the best teams in the country with their rushing offense. Well, it's because Southern University has made a couple changes, going with the 4-man defensive line and crowding the line of scrimmage. So what they're doing right now, they're challenging the Alcorn State quarterback, the all-conference signal caller, to throw the football. Very risky, but they're having success doing it.
Last possession for Alcorn State was their first 3 and out of the game. Led to the punt block and touchdown for Southern. Now way overshoots the intended receiver Davis on 3rd down and long, and it's 4th down. So that's 2 straight 3 and outs for the Braves offense.
And he looks rattled. I mean, I'll be honest, John Gibbs, if you're a person that believes in what you see from the body language of a quarterback, going over, talking to the offensive coordinator, Willie Simmons, and they're not on the same page. He's throwing the ball quickly, 2 inaccurate throws. He needs to settle down, and you can tell right there from that. What's he saying? Does that look like a confident quarterback? Not at all.
Yeah, the roles have been reversed. The quarterbacks here in the second half. Gibbs was the calm, cool guy in half number 1. It's going to roll out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. 43-yard punt. Well, it's a Holiday Hoops doubleheader next Sunday on ESPNU at 4. The La Tech Bulldogs battles Syracuse, and then UNC Wilmington squares off against 5th-ranked Louisville and their monstrous front court. The Holiday Hoops doubleheader begins Sunday, December 14th at 4 Eastern on ESPNU, the home court of college hoops. See, there was a point in the second quarter where I thought Alcorn State was maybe another play away from perhaps putting this game away. Didn't happen.
I agree with you. And so often we see when you don't eliminate hope from a team early, they hang around, they catch a break here or there, and you find yourself in a tough football contest. And that's exactly what's happened to Alcorn State.
Southern has never led in this game. They've managed to tie it up. This is a carry for Bracken until the 29. Bracken really didn't have any carries at all in the first half, but now they're starting to give him a share of the load. He goes for 3, tackled by Taylor.
We thought that Leonard Tillery was going to be the go-to guy for Southern, but because of his style of the flashy run, this is not a game where you can count on flashy runs. You have to count on hard-nosed running in between the tackles. They've gone running back by committee with Malcolm Crockett and also Tyree Bracken getting some carries.
Howard flushed out. Now lets it go. Now his receiver was out of bounds. He dives for that. Incomplete. I'm not sure if he was pushed out of bounds. Didn't make the catch anyway, but he came running it back to the play from the Alcorn State sideline. That was Reggie Travis.
And that's a freshman mistake. What you have to realize, the type of football game you're in, he's got great protection. Only a 3-man rush. So you see the rush is not really there. Step up. Tell me he can't run and pick up 4 or 5, maybe even the first down there. In this type of football game, every yard counts. He elects to go for the home run ball. Instead, now he faces a 3rd and long instead of 1st and 10.
You can see Travis at the top of the screen on that replay. I think he ran out on his own, so even if had he caught that ball, would not have counted. 3rd and 7. A whistle.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Wow, can't let that play clock run down, but they did.
Coach Odoms, you think he knows what type of football game he's in? He knows you can't take these type of chances, and Right now, if you're Southern with the penalty, I don't think you can be aggressive with your play calling. You don't want your quarterback to jeopardize it with a turnover. I think they have to play it close to the vest and call a conservative play, maybe a wide receiver screen or a quarterback draw.
It's the second penalty against Southern, their first since the personal foul penalty in the first half. Howard having to drop even deeper, now just slings it out of bounds, and they're going to punt the football away. Jameel Cooks is going after the quarterback. That's an important stand for the Alcorn State defense there. Try to stem the tide because Southern can put up 2 quick touchdowns here in the second half. On for the punt. Paul Randall Soden. Anthony Williams back at his own 40. It's going to roll out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Let's check in with Matt Schick in the studio for this college football update.
Yeah, guys, Missouri trying to make it a game. 4th and goal.
Interesting. Thank you, Matt. You're at the 2014 SWAC Championship game from Houston. How about the Tide? Mizzou's defense playing a part in that game. Gibbs hands it off to Ragsdale. Trying to get to the edge, but he's going to lose a yard or 2. Run down by Brian Anderson, number 38. Anderson's a freshman out of New Orleans.
We talk about Alcorn State, how a team that has over 100 tackles for losses on the season, but now we're starting to see this Southern University defense give them a dose of their own medicine. They're moving around, shooting gaps. They're coming up with the big plays defensively. None of the defensive linemen standing in 3-point stands for Southern.
Gibbs pass is a strike to Charles Hughes, and he's going to have a first down at the 48-yard line of Southern, tackled by DeAndre Woodland, but it's a 12-yard gain.
They like bringing that crossing pattern. They've used it in the first half, and they do a good job there creating that rub. It's a natural rub where you want the defensive back to see a crossing route coming in his peripheral vision. Anticipating contact, he's forced to give, and they just make the easy completion underneath.
Jumped. I think that was Gabe Eccles who jumped early for Southern, number 90.
Offside. Number 90 on the defense with contact. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So the contact he made is the reason the play stopped. 5-yard penalty and a 1st and 5 for the Braves, now at the 43 of Southern. Braves go to 4 receivers, 3 at the top. Gibbs looking in that direction, sets up the screen pass. Shed inside the 25, run out at the 22. Shed, who had a touchdown catch earlier, 21-yard gain there.
Quarterback's best friend, run after catch on a simple throw made behind the line of scrimmage. You have Shed do the rest, weaving through the secondary of Southern University.
Braves trying to pick up a little bit of tempo here. Run by Ragsdale to the 19. Tackled by Phillips and Henry. Just over midway through this 3rd quarter in the SWAC championship game from Houston. It's a quarter that so far has been dominated by Southern with a couple of touchdowns, but Alcorn State trying to respond and take the lead back.
Watch the run to the left side.
Give it to Ragsdale. Maybe a yard, where he's held up there by Deontay McDuffie. Ragsdale back from injury They told us, you know, we probably could have played him against Jackson State, but I wanted to make sure he was 100% for this championship game. 3rd and 7.
I always like to have that the running back going from right to left with some type of ball action in the backfield.
A little push in the back at the end, and that's going to draw the flag. McKenzie, the intended receiver, and Kevin King gave him a push, and the field judge on the backside threw the flag.
It was pass interference, no question about it, but I don't know if that was a catchable ball. He threw that ball probably a yard or two behind the intended target. This is one where they can decide to pick it up. But clearly he made the contact, but the ball was behind the receiver.
Pass interference. Number 4, defense. The foul occurred 15 yards in advance of the previous spot. The ball will be placed there. First down.
It'll be 1st and goal from the 6.
And we'll take a look at this. This ball's a skinny post thrown late. He's already across. The receiver was trying to stop, but the ball was thrown behind.
1st and goal, Braves. Gibbs hands it off. Williams. Brought down by Brian McCann at the 4. Pickup of 2 yards.
Number 38, Brian Anderson for Southern University, the starting free safety. They say he's a game changer. And normally a free safety has great ball skills and really good in pass coverage, but he's really been mixing it up, making some clutch tackles for this Jaguar defense.
Williams and in, touchdown. Anthony Williams, a 6-yard touchdown run. His 2nd of the game.
This is just power. He wants it more. Right up the gut, keep the legs churning, lower your shoulder pad level. Defensive lineman on roller skates. Touchdown for the Braves.
12th rushing touchdown of the season.
The previous play is under review. That the ball carrier crossed the goal line.
And from what we saw, it doesn't look like there's any question about the legitimacy of that score. It should stand, or at least be confirmed.
This should be an easy one. The legs are going, momentum carries them in. Yeah, that's pretty easy touchdown.
I think a lot of the holdup, Jay, is you got to give the replay guys a chance to look at every score. And
I mean, the knee comes down maybe a half yard short, but at that point, you assume the ball is in the end zone.
When there's any kind of doubt, they're going to take a look. And
so that's his knee right there on the bottom. This is his knee right here. But 6 inches away, you have to. The ball's in the end zone. But that's a good job of capping off the drive. They took advantage of the penalty and put points on the board. Didn't settle for a field goal. Looks like they're going to have a touchdown. But man, that's a tough one on that pass interference call.
Southern had scored 2 touchdowns here in the 3rd quarter to tie the game after it was a 24-10 Alcorn State lead at the half. That run for Anthony Williams, which should at least stand, if not be confirmed. Giving Alcorn State the lead back. Jay Hobson in his 3rd season as their head coach. Trying to bring the Braves their first SWAC championship since '94.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Didn't confirm, but did say it stands. And the touchdown holds for Anthony Williams III. With nearly 60 yards in 6 plays in under 3.5 minutes. Point after attempt for sophomore Hayden McCraney. 31-24 thanks to the 2nd touchdown run of the game from senior Anthony Williams. Big drive for Alcorn State to reclaim the lead.
Florida State.
Up 3 with 48 seconds to go. Check it out on ESPN3. Yes.
Wow, bad. My partner, Jay Walker, right now, his chin just about dropped down to his waist.
Well, I knew South Dakota State was good, you know, and on the selection show, people said North Dakota State's a team to beat. I said, I'm taking the field this year. I don't think they can repeat, but if they do, great job considering all the change they've had. New head coach, new first-year starting quarterback.
Here's Willie Quinn. He has the punt return for touchdown. Apparently wasn't down at the 18, but is down at the 16. Marked down by Michael Hurts. The Southern ball, they're going to mark it at the 17. 4:45 to play third quarter in this 2014 SWAC championship game from Houston, Texas. Southern, the defending champs. They won in double overtime here a year ago against Jackson State, 34-27.
The offensive line is starting to play better. But go back to the passing game. Willie Quinn, I'd like to see them get him the football in space and see if the Alcorn defensive backs can make tackles on him.
Quinn in the near slot to the right at the top of the screen. Howard on first down. That is completed. Jones, but to work his way to the 20 for a gain of only about 3. Number 51, William Thomas, bringing him down. Quickly to the line come the Jaguars on second down and 7.
You see all the movement from the linebackers and the defensive line for Alcorn. Very difficult to diagnose how many people are in the box and who's bringing pressure.
Tillery knocked down at the 23 by C.J. Morgan. Another gain of 3 yards.
So as a quarterback, particularly with your offensive coordinator, you're taught count the numbers in the box. What do you do? So this is a third down situation. You want to see, do they have 6 people in the box or 7 people in the box? Right now, you've got 1, 2, 3, you're sure. 4, 5. What about the guys on the edge? Are they coming? Are they in the gray area? What are they doing? So it looked like they had 5 men in the box, which means you should be able to run the football. But once they start changing and going wide and bringing pressure from the outside, that really confuses your number count.
Southern converted 43 of their third downs coming in, and they convert a rare one here. Just the second time they've converted a third down today. They do find Willie Quinn. You were just mentioning his name. He's been such a factor on special teams, but there's a 19-yard gain.
Their leading receiver on the year, and this is a nice throw by Austin Howard. Steps into it before the linebacker can cut underneath. Very tough to tackle Willie Quinn when he's in the open field.
First team all-conference named yesterday. Howard escaping and will slide down at the 44 for just 2 yards. He had Jameel Cooks in pursuit. How about those numbers in the second half for Howard? 7 of 8, almost 100 yards.
I think they told him, we're going to protect you up front. You don't have to worry about getting hit. Pick him apart from the pocket and take what the defense is giving you. And he's done a good job here in the second half.
Tillery. Nice second effort to make it across the 45-yard line. For just a couple of yards, though, Francois and William Thomas at the stop. Willie Quinn listed at 5'5", 145 pounds, and you have Tillery 5'10", 186. Another third down, a 3rd and 6. Howard lets it go at too high at the 45 for Mike Jones, 4th down. So they do convert 1 third down on the drive, but not their second opportunity. We'll have to boot it away with 1:55 left in the quarter.
And as a coach, you hate that he missed the throw, but since he's a freshman with all the confusing looks, he went the right place with the football. He knows he has to make a better throw. But half the job versus Alcorn State is figuring out where to go with the football. He went to the wide receiver, just threw the ball high.
Paul Randall Soden, sophomore from Bainbridge, Georgia, punting. Anthony Williams back at his own 23. And a high punt, fair catch called for, and taken at the 16 by Williams. A 37-yard punt with no return. Well, the unbeaten Seminoles take on the Ramblin' Wreck from Georgia Tech for the ACC Championship. Saturday Night Football, number 4 Florida State, number 11 Georgia Tech tonight at 8 Eastern on ABC.
A lot of people think that Georgia Tech has an opportunity to pull off the upset. And I wonder, is that because they think Georgia Tech is better, or because Florida State tends to play to the level of their competition?
And another element of that I heard, Jay, was some saying, hey, if Jameis Winston struggles, they're not going to get the amount of possessions they normally would against a different opponent. The way Georgia Tech controls the football. Here's a run for Aaron Baker. Well, we'll find out tomorrow which 4 teams are going to be in the first college football playoff. Selection show 12:30 Eastern time on ESPN. Gibbs handing it off again to Baker, showing that power in that 235-pound frame to the 25-yard line, leaving them about 2 yards from a first down.
How committed are they to stopping the running game to the left? They put 5 defensive linemen on the left side of the line, and they still picked up positive yardage.
First down run for Aaron Baker. Up to the 35-yard line. 9-yard run.
And the running back by committee we talked about for Alcorn is starting to show up now. Because Southern is in the right run-stopping defense, they're going with the bigger back who's getting yards after contact.
They're going with tempo, and Gibbs kept it. And he has a first down run up near midfield before he's tackled by Demetrius Carter. He had that ball in the belly of Baker and pulled it out so violently Baker fell to the ground.
Baker thought he was getting called on once again, but that's what a quarterback do. It's your job to secure the football and to pull it out of the belly of the running back.
That last rush for Gibbs, he's now at 1,000 rushing yards for the season. Came in at 874. He is the leading rusher this year for the Braves. Keeping again. Ooh, nowhere to go there, and he took a hard hit from Woodland and Deontay McDuffie. Well, he just lost a yard on that play, so now he's back to 999.
Broke Steve McNair's record. Only difference, I'm sure, in that year when Steve rushed for 936 yards, probably threw for about 4,000 yards too.
That's the end of the third quarter. A championship to be decided here in Houston. 31-24 Alcorn State.
Monday Night Football, Falcons-Packers, 8:15.
Want to know how hard it can be to breathe with shit?
To DraftKings.com now.
Before we head into the fourth quarter of this SWAC championship game, let's take a look at today's Bringing the Flavor, brought to you by McDonald's.
Turn down for what? Turn down for what? Turn down for what? Turn down for what?
Bringing the Flavor, brought to you by McDonald's. Southern trying to win their back-to-back SWAC championship here today. Alcorn State looking for their first since 1994. They're playing in the SWAC championship game for the first time ever since it was created in 1999. We begin the fourth quarter. 31-24 Alcorn State. Great to have you with us from Houston, along with Tiffany Green and Jay Walker. I'm Mark Neely. Coming around the other side, here's McKenzie. Uses a stiff arm, then is tackled at the 48. So they only gain about a yard on that thanks to Brian Anderson's tackle.
Interesting third down call here. Do you go with the drop back pass? When they do, they've had success. Finding Brendan Vessel, number 12, seems to be their go-to wide receiver. He's lined up in the slot on the hash mark. Right there.
Gibbs looking at his direction. Guess what? There he is. First down. And now down the sideline. There goes Betzel. Block from the running back. Williams on the edge helped free him. And down the sideline went Betzel. Are you calling plays for this team now?
Let teams do what they do in clutch situations in the football game. And that was one there where Betzel, they lined him up in the slot where he's a dangerous man. Give him the ball in space, and this has been their theme. Trying to force Southern University defensive backs to make tackles in the open field. And Alcorn has won more than their fair share of those today.
Third touchdown catch of the year for junior Brandon Betzel. Nate McCraney on for the point after. Alcorn State had a 2-touchdown lead at half. They saw that lead completely erased to a tie score at 24. But now Alcorn State with back-to-back TDs, including Betzel, 51 yards.
When I daydream, I don't think about PowerPoint charts. I daydream about football. It's such a beautiful.
Brandon Betzel there on the left with the touchdown catch from Gibbs, the man there on the right. 38-24.
Let's go back to that last touchdown from Betzel. Let's see how he gets open. He's going to run the quick out here. But what you're going to like is Southern's going to bring pressure from here. Take a look at the two running backs. Pick up the blitz, and once you do that, you've got one-on-one in the secondary. Great recognition, particularly by Anthony Williams at top. Just enough time to allow Gibbs to get off the pass. The rest, you see, is a foot race to the end zone in which Betzel wins.
And in case you missed it, video of that touchdown now posted on the Sports Center app, available on your mobile devices and tablets whenever you need it. Back to a 2-touchdown lead for Alcorn State, but the last thing he wanted to do there was kick it out of bounds.
Are we at that moment in the game once again, like we were in the first half when we saw Southern University was down by 14 points? Alcorn's getting ready to pull away. The offense needs to come up with something.
Kick out of bounds on the kicking team. Southern has elected to have the ball spotted on the 35-yard line. First down.
Yeah, I think the similarities are very, very striking here, Jay, because you're right. First half, Southern was on the ropes, and they're on the ropes again here now, early fourth quarter.
Early fourth, but you almost get the feeling if they don't score right now on this possession, that things could get away from them in a hurry, and Alcorn's running game will start to take over and chew up clock. It's early. 14 minutes still in the football game, but the offense has to show some signs of life right now.
Pump fake, dumps it underneath on the screen. Tillery immediately dropped. Only a gain of a yard. That was Hendrick Taylor, number 30.
He's a good football player. He's had a well of a football game. Plays the nickel back position. Kind of a hybrid linebacker slash defensive back in that secondary. But more importantly, he's a very solid tackler.
Letting it go and dropped. A little behind Mike Jones. And it's going to be 3rd and 8. You know, a moment ago, Jay, I said the last thing that Alcorn State wanted to do is kick it out of bounds. You know, maybe not. You think about it, they didn't get hurt on special teams.
Yeah, I thought they might have for Southern. Decline the penalty, make them kick it to you again. Re-kick it.
And now they face a 3rd down and 8.
Time to get the football to Willie Quinn.
He's in the near slot at the top of the screen. Howard looking in his direction, but now going towards the sideline. He came down out of bounds. Incomplete. Reggie Travis made the catch, but came down.
He missed him. And I'm not talking about going to Travis. I'm talking about he missed Willie Quinn. This is Willie Quinn right here. Watch what he does and tell me, does he get wide open? That's open. Middle of the field. Nobody around him. That's open. Remember earlier I gave him, I said, okay, he went the right place with the football in one-on-one coverage. He just missed the throw. Well, in that case, he went the wrong place with the football, missed a wide open wide receiver for a huge play.
This is Murphy Nash punting this time for Southern. 5th 3 and out for the Southern offense. Good punt that time. Backs up Williams inside his 15. And it'll be tackled outside the 20, a 50-yard punt. Let's check in with the studio and say hey again to Matt Schick. Matt.
Hey, Mark, Jay, yeah, just keep you posted on what's going on in Atlanta after Missouri scored that touchdown. Start of the 4th quarter, Alabama drives down the field, and Blake Sims, his 2nd touchdown pass, this one to Christian Jones. He's 21 of 25 for 240, 2 TDs. Bama up 28-13 in the 4th.
Thanks very much. You know, even if Mizzou loses that game, and that's 2 straight trips to the SEC championship for them after coming from the Big 12. I think a lot of folks thought that was not going to be a good move for them. But
thought it'd be a tough transition for him. But I want to talk about Missouri. I want to talk about Blake Sims. Is he playing football at a high level or what?
Kept there by John Gibbs. Brought down by Audrey Thompson.
And right now for the Southern defense, it's time to strap up your chin strap because they're going to run the football at you. Look at this.
Wow.
And you know, when you look at John Gibbs, he's a dual threat, 1,000 yards rushing, over 2,000 yards passing. Those are like Colin Kaepernick type numbers when he was at Nevada. And they're both 6 feet 6 inches tall. Strong arms.
Pretty remarkable. FBS and FCS. Only player with those numbers. Baker. And that's a 1st down run to the 34-yard line. 10 yards on the ground for Aaron Baker.
I mentioned strap up your chin strap, make sure it's tight, because that running game is coming hard and heavy right now. If you're an Alcorn State fan, you're saying this is the type of drive that you secure champion. University, you're down by 2 scores. Defensively, you need to get a stop. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it with the personnel they have on the field. They're going to have to bring an extra defensive back into the box in order to stop this running game.
Snap it with 5 on the play clock. Again for Baker. Advances to the 38, tackled by Brian McCann. I know that the tempo seemed to help Alcorn State last couple of possessions, but now they're at a point now, Jay, we're under 12 minutes. I'm sure they want to eat up as much of this clock as possible.
And they're going to do that by running the ball on the ground. They can control when they snap the ball, but you want to get to the line of scrimmage to force the defense to show their hand. Put your offense in a better position for success running the ball. But I'd look for them to run behind Dade and Sampson over on that left side.
218 rushing yards for the Braves. They snap it with 6 on the play clock. Gibbs again straight ahead to the 41. Brought down by Aaron Tiller. It's going to be 3rd and about 3. The numbers tonight for Gibbs. 130 yards rushing, 12 carries. And how about the passing yards, though? And the 3 TDs.
I'm talking, he has over 270 yards total offense and on his way to 300 with time left in this football game. And I like how he threw the interception and then he got back on track. We saw him get rattled for a little bit, but he got back on track again.
Gibbs going to run. Oh, man, did he take a hard hit? Whoa! Deontay McDuffie. I'm just happy to see Gibbs get up. 4th down. Wow.
Safety blitz coming, anticipating the quarterback draw. And I don't know if a quarterback gets hit any harder than this. Full head of steam. That is called running through the ball carrier.
You know, and I'm watching that. Obviously, targeting's been a big deal the last few years, but everything I've seen there is that's a legal hit. Didn't lower his head, didn't use the crown of his helmet, but it was a hard hit, and they block it. Southern again on special teams, trying to run down that loose ball. They do so and recover at the 23. Well, the saving grace for the Jags today has been special teams, and they get a punt block, the recovery from Anthony Clark.
bringing pressure from the outside. And once again, Jonathan Scott refusing to step out and engage on the outside pressure. He's just sticking his right arm out there, number 69. Watch him just stick his right arm out there late. Able to block it again, and guess what?
Same guy.
Caesar again.
Caesar with a second block. Second pump block of the game for Mason Caesar at Southern. You talk about something the Jags desperately needed. That was another play on special teams. And they have a first down at the 24 of Alcorn State.
Empty backfield for the first time in this football game.
Howard's pass off the hands of Willie Quinn. That's a rare drop for the sure-handed Quinn.
I think it's smart to go empty because you bring the 5 wide receivers into the game and the defense really has to show their hand, and you make your reads a little bit easier for your young quarterback against this confusing Alcorn State defense.
.9:48 to play in this fourth quarter in the 2014 SWAC Championship game from Houston. Howard's pass this time hung on to by Quinn. Bumped forward inside the 15. Close to a first down after an 8-yard gain, but a yard or two short. Stopped by Jameel Cooks.
Willie Quinn is 5'5", 144 pounds. Low leverage, but he is extremely difficult to bring down. I mean, take a look at this. Snatches the ball out of the air, good hands, makes a miss, decides to weave, can't tackle him, and then gets down again and leans forward. And you wonder if his neck didn't hit the leg of the tackler that was around the pile. That would have been Jameel Cooks, number 37. What a football player, though. 5'5", 145 pounds from Miami, Florida. And something about those kids from Miami, they all seem to have that knack of being able to run with the football after they catch it.
Right out of Miami Jackson High School, held to his feet. It might be a big loss if he can't go on. He had a huge play on special teams earlier in this game. This is really what got him back in the game, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, they were so flat. And then he decided to take things in his own hands. They outkicked the coverage and quick move there.
86-yard return for a touchdown. Now this is the first block punt by Caesar. Craig running that in. And now just a short time ago, Caesar with his second block punt.
One-on-one with the same person. And both of those punt blocks have come when the door was being able to become closed on them. So that opened up the door still to keep them close. And now I think it's 4-down territory, don't you think? Down by 14.
I would think so. Yep.
Less than 10 minutes to go in the game. Special teams gave you a gift.
Tough to see Quinn there on the sideline. He was kind of clutching the neck area on the left side near the shoulder. 3rd and 2. Howard going to run it. Looks like he'll be close. That's Shorts, actually. Did he get there? First time we've seen Deontay Shorts at quarterback.
And he would have gotten there had he decided to jump for it. He tried to bounce to the outside again. And it's going to be close. Shorts more athletic running the football than Howard. When he's in the game, you have to think that. Makes one cut, go forward. He goes sideways, and that's going to be close. Oh.
They're going to bring the chains across to measure this.
If he just leans forward, he has it. He tries to escape to the outside.
But even if they're short here, Jay, you
go for it.
You got to go, don't you?
Yes.
Okay, he's short by about the length of the football, or maybe just a little bit more.
You have to go for it in this case here.
Howard coming back out onto the field. This could be a game on the line right here, perhaps for Southern if they can't convert.
Keep this in mind. Southern has 2 all-conference tackles that are really good. But when you talk to them, they'll tell you their best offensive lineman for them this year has been the center, Terrell Lee. This is the time when you want to have a center that can win his one-on-one block.
They really do love Lee, don't they? They call him the guy that makes the ship go. Our commander-in-chief, redshirt sophomore out of Memphis.
Ooh, I don't like the decision to bring Howard in the game right now. You're not going to throw the football. I think you keep Shorts in there for the threat of the run.
Malcolm Crockett is the back.
Now you just follow the running back. Wherever the running back goes, you know he's getting the football.
Crockett, no. Stopped. Stuffed by Jameel Cooks, and Southern turns it over on downs.
Yeah. I thought it should have been pound of football, given the option, spread them out, and allow Shorts or somebody else to run the football instead. Alcorn comes up with a huge play. They're starting to feel victory within their grasp.
Now at Joseph A. Bank, get 70% off most everything in the store, plus an extra 20% off when you buy a suit, sport coat, or outerwear. That's 70% off, plus an extra 20% off suits, sport coats, and outerwear. And 70% off most everything in the store. Holiday savings for your holiday shopping. Through Sunday, only at Joseph A. Bank.
Fill my head with the future, fill my eyes with the sky. The whole of my life getting left behind, but I've never felt more alive. Talking on a bad connection, think I might have used the wire.
The 38-mile-per-gallon highway Nissan Altima. Now nothing is beyond your reach. Now get great offers on the 38 mpg highway Nissan Altima.
Nissan, innovation that excites. Earning unlimited cash back on...
Alcorn State starting to sniff their first SWAC championship since 1994. Their defense with the stand on 4th and about the length of the football. This is a school that's had a lot of great alums.
Yeah, let's introduce you to Alcorn State. America needs to know Medgar Evers, civil rights engineer, Alex Haley, the author of Roots, Michael Clark Duncan, a deceased actor, Donald Driver. Many people don't know Donald Driver went to Alcorn. Jimmy Giles, tight end. How about Leslie Frazier, coached the Vikings, and Dr. Dennis Thomas. You know who Dr. Dennis Thomas is, right? Commissioner of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference.
Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference commish. Has SWAC roots. Carry for Williams. Here's Alcorn State with 9 minutes to go, 4th quarter, leading by 2 touchdowns. And I'm sure going to keep this on the ground and eat some clock here, Jack.
That's why you have such a potent running attack that rushes for almost 300 yards per contest. Times like this, they've been able to run the football, eat some clock, and put their opponents away.
Gibbs keeping. Nope, he will throw it to the edge. Shed. Hooked up at the 20-yard line by DeAndre Woodland. Hey, let me take you back to that 4th down call, because when you made the point, you didn't like the fact that Shorts had come out of the game after coming in on 3rd down, because at that point, all eyes on that Alcorn State defense were on the running back Crockett.
Yeah, and it becomes just follow the running back, and this is a defense that likes to shoot the gap, so they were pretty much contained, and you knew wherever the running back went, he was getting the football. That allowed an aggressive defense to really hone in on one particular player. And I think in today's college football world, with the dual threat quarterbacks and the zone read, pretty hard to play power football when you hadn't done it all contest with much success.
Southern's defense really needs a stop here. They're going to get it. McDuffie throwing down Gibbs, so a quick 3 and out. Well, special teams has been the bright part of this game for Southern. They're going to get a chance to block a 3rd punt in this game.
And here's where the depth shows. I want to see if Jonathan Scott's going to be back on punt block.
Well, and let's find Caesar. Where's 86? There.
Find Caesar. I see Scott is back there again.
Caesar's lined up on the right side. Here they come again. Kind of does a little rugby punt that time. And he gets a good bounce. And it's going to be down at the 40-yard line. So 6:51 to go after a 42-yard punt that was not blocked.
Kansas State, Baylor, tonight on ESPN.
Nearly a century ago, 6 academic institutions joined each other in Houston, Texas. Since that time, they've developed to become one of the leading collegiate athletic associations in the world, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Be a part of history. Be a part of the SWAC experience. Stand and be counted among the best in academics, athletics, music, stewardship. We are proud of our past and
ESPNU College Football Primetime is presented by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And in part by the new City Double Cash Card.
Saturday evening in Houston, the 2014 SWAC Championship. With 6:51 to go. And Southern down 2 touchdowns. Take over at their own 41-yard line. Howard play fake. And he's going deep. Almost intercepted, then almost caught by Jones, the receiver, then almost intercepted again. Francois helping out on the coverage, as well as Gatewood, number 24.
It's a great job by Mike Jones. He realizes he's not going to make the catch, so he's going to break up the pass and almost makes a completion. Ball thrown too far to the inside. He's going to make contact and then gets a hand on the football. And as you mentioned, became hot potato, but he's going to the mode of a defensive back, not going to allow him to get the interception, and then almost came down with it.
Quinn is back in the game. He's in the slot at the top of the screen. Looking for him across the middle. Does hit him. Threw it a little bit late, but gets the completion and a first down to the 44.
And that's what's been there all game, and they finally hit him. And if you make a little bit better throw, Willie Quinn is still running. The middle of the defense, the soft spot is there. When they have linebackers that are playing, it's hard for them to get to their zone. If he hits him in stride, he's coming across that formation, and we know what Willie Quinn can do with the football after he catches it.
16-yard gain.
Go back to that same play. It's still there.
Here comes the blitz off the edge. Throw across to Jones, Montrell Jones, a tight end. 8-yard gain. Tackled by Hendrick Taylor. Clock running.
I'd have a little sense of urgency right now.
I was just thinking the same thing. They're down 2 scores here. We have all 3 of their timeouts, but now we're under 6 minutes to go. Howard. Well, he had Tillery and then decided late to go after Jones up the field, but incomplete inside the 30.
But the frustrating thing becomes he's got a 3-man pass rush. He has plenty of time. You need 2 yards. What you don't want is an incomplete pass. Go forward, pick up the first down first. You don't have to be the best mobile quarterback in the world to pick up the 2 yards, but he's getting great pass protection from his interior line. There's nobody to block.
On 3rd and 2, Tillery will have the first down inside the 30 to the 29, tackled by Watkins and Taylor.
And I think why you want to hurry up here is if your defense can't make one stop, maybe they can make the second, and you want to have a timeout. You don't want it to come down to a 1-possession game. If you've got 3 timeouts, you can control the clock while you're on offense.
After the game, the trophy ceremony on ESPN3. This is Quinn. That time did a better job of hitting him in stride, and he has a first down to the 17.
And we know what Quinn can do when he catches the ball after the catch. Very elusive, very difficult to bring down.
Quick 12-yard gain. Clock still running. About 5:15 left. Howard going to step up now. He's going to run. Makes a decent move to get to the 10-yard line. Eluded one tackler. Watkins and brought down by Thomas.
and that's a good job. The pocket presence. They brought pressure from the outside. He stepped up, realized the linebackers had turned their back to him. And he was able to pick up positive yards on first down. That's what offensive coordinators dial up plays for.
Alcorn State, timeout.
Timeout, Alcorn State.
So they use their first timeout. Well, coming up Sunday on ESPNU, Championship Drive has 2 shows packed with analysis and debate. First at 10 a.m., analysts Rod Gilmore, Tom Luganbill, and Matt Millen preview the possible selections and debate who should be in and who is a lock. Then at 7, the team's back with analysis from the 4 teams that get in and reaction from the teams who did not get in, plus a preview of the semifinal matchups. ESPNU Championship Drive presented by AT&T. Tomorrow will be a big day for this first college football playoff.
It will. Well, we introduced the world to Alcorn State, if you weren't aware. Well, how about that school right there? Southern University, based in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. How about Harold Carmichael, 6'9" wide receiver in the NFL. Mel Blount, NFL Hall of Famer. Luke Rock, he's a baseball guy, Mark.
Yes.
Avery Johnson. Now the Aeneas Williams just going into the NFL Hall of Fame this year. And Branford Marcellus.
Sweet music.
Sweet music. And could have mentioned maybe Ricky Weeks as well. So many more.
Another baseball guy.
And just like I say this, like Steve McNair is what we mentioned every time we go Alcorn State. At Southern University, Bobby Phills, basketball player there. His life was cut short in basketball. He went to Southern University.
Over 70 players from Southern have made it to the NFL over the years. Second down and 3. Delay. Tillery. It'll be first and goal from the 5. Tackled by Taylor and Watkins.
Great call. They cut Alcorn State defensive end Deion Robertson trying to shoot the gap. He ran right by. A little trap draw play.
First and goal. Tillery still on his feet.
Ball's out.
And recovered by Alcorn State. William Thomas. And a back-breaking turnover.
That's a fumble. And they're going to try and say he did, and the officials are talking about it, but the pile was moving. There wasn't a whistle. I mean, this is a good effort by Tillery. Spinning, moving forward. That ball's out before he's down. He was on top of a defender.
The previous play is under review.
Back to the defense. He's trying to stick it out. Oh, that's a great look right there. Trying to extend the football in the arms of Damon Watkins.
It would have been Robertson that punched it out and then recovered by William Thomas in the end zone, so it should come out to the 20.
And this is the type of hard-nosed running you have to do. Deion Robertson is going to come over, knock it out, and you see William Thomas right there, number 51, is going to fall on it. But look at the tackle in the hole by Watkins. Makes the contact. Robertson knocks it out with his leg. William Thomas recovers, and so, and you know what's unique? I never heard the officials clarify if it was Alcorn State ball or Southern University football.
Well, the last 2 possessions now for Southern, 2 possessions ago, they turned it over on downs at the Alcorn State 15, and now here on a call that, as it's being reviewed, should be confirmed or at least stand. They turn it over at the goal line. And with just 4:27 to go, Southern's chances of repeating as SWAC champions dwindling.
They have a lot riding on this review. I mean, their hopes at a 2014 repeat championship, I think, come down to what the officials see when they look at the tape.
Well, will Alcorn State win their first SWAC championship since 1994 and Jay Hobson in just his 3rd season as the head coach. A Mississippi native who took over a program, to put it politely, was in disarray. They had a 2-win season and finished in last place the year before he took over, and the school had 3 athletic directors the year that he was hired.
I think it wasn't just the previous coach prior to him with all the experience. It had been a school that had been declining. He's looking at the band. He's looking at the band like a school teacher. Are you going to quiet down?
After further review, the ball carrier fumbled the ball prior to him being down. The ball was recovered by the defense and will be placed at the 20-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 4 minutes, 30 seconds.
Well, now the hope for Dawson Odoms at Southern, they do have their timeouts. They can stop the clock on defense if they so choose, but it's still a two-score game.
And they have the timeouts. But a tough task they're facing right now.
So it's not impossible, but it is improbable at this point. With 4:30 to go and Southern down 2 touchdowns. Braves take over at their 20. Gibbs keeping. Wants to stay in bounds, does so, tumbles down at the 26, upended by Danny Johnson, the quarterback. And now Southern will start to use their timeouts. They use their first of 3. We'll step aside with 4:14 to play here in Houston.
That's your new boss?
Yeah.
Well, your boss loves the beach.
Really?
She's been to London, Paris, and her son plays baseball.
You psychic?
No, I speak Pandora. He went to Jared.
Celebrate life's unforgettable moments with a fabulous selection of Pandora charms and bracelets, including these charms exclusively at Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry, telling her life story with just a turn of the wrist.
You're good.
I know.
That's why he went to Jared.
ESPN3 and the Watch ESPN app. We'll move it over to you when we're done here, guys.
Thanks for that, Matt. 4:18 to go, to be precise, here in Houston. 38-24. Alcorn State on the verge of their first SWAC championship in 20 years. 2nd down and 4. Virtually no gain there for Williams. And Southern will use their 2nd timeout, so they'll have 1 remaining. 4:11 to go and a 3rd down upcoming. Well, it's been just exactly a year. Southern and Jackson State right on this same field a year ago. They locked up in a double overtime battle in last year's SWAC championship. Southern's defense came up with a big play. Jackson State quarterback Clayton Moore picked off the goal line of the 2nd OT. Ray Johnson connects with Lee Doss, 16-yard TD. Jags were up 34-27. I'll never forget that. Well, you, Jay, were Gooden made the catch, but he was out of bounds. If he stayed inbounds and the extra point, we would have gone to a 3rd overtime. But Southern won it in 2 OTs, 34-27. First SWAC title for Southern in 10 years, but they're 18th overall.
Their mainstay in title contention. Take a look at the last 5 champions. Southern, Arkansas Pine Bluff, Monty Coleman had a nice run. Grambling State before they fell on hard times. Texas Southern, Prairie View A&M. But you notice one consistent thing there? Southern University, Grambling, Texas Southern, Prairie View A&M, all, and Arkansas Pine Bluff, all from the SWAC's Western Division.
Yes.
So the schools like the Alabama A&Ms and Mississippi schools haven't been able to win one in recent time.
Here's Alcorn State out of the SWAC East Division. Going to be stopped before the 1st down by Brian Anderson. Carry by Williams. So Southern will use their final timeout with 4:04 to go. With a punt upcoming for the Braves. While we get a moment during this timeout, Jay, I got to do this one more time, man. Give me 5.
I'll give you 5. How about 5 things about the SWAC Championship in 2014? On the bubble, it's a rematch. You know, it's always going to be a rematch, and Southern showed well. They stood up to him. Number 5, Quincy Richard Jr. And I think SWAC Championships at Southern University, he's their guy that had a great performance. Number 4, Marino Castle. You know why I mentioned him? He was the athletic director at Southern and led them to a championship, but he also made his name at Alcorn State University.
And has the stadium named after him.
Named after him, the field. Then number 3, how about Air McNair? I made a vow. I would never do an Alcorn State game without mentioning Steve Air McNair. He is Alcorn State. Number 2, the Dancing Dolls and the Golden Girls at halftime did a great job. And I think number 1, more importantly, I know Commissioner Dewar Sharp will like this. Houston is ready to keep hosting this game. They're doing a fantastic job with the hospitality, the venue. That's the SWAC Championship.
Yeah, that's a great place for the SWAC Championship. You're in NRG Stadium, home of the NFL Houston Texans. Coming after it. And Caesar had 2 punt blocks, couldn't quite get a third there. And out of bounds near the 35 is Quinn. So a tough task ahead here for Southern now. Down 2 scores, no timeouts, and under 4 minutes to go. ESPNU's coverage of the 2014 NCAA Women's College Cup begins Sunday at 1. 4th-ranked Virginia playing for its first national championship. Number 2 Florida State competing in their 3rd ever national championship game, and also looking for their first national title. It's presented by Northwestern Mutual. 2014 NCAA Women's College Cup tomorrow. The Purple Pride is ready to go crazy.
They did a good job, and I will tell you, in a short period of time, the reservation, that's what they call Alcorn State, became a very difficult place to travel and win a football game. And right now, their defense needs to tackle everything in front. Don't go for the knockout hit.
Howard to the 45. Quinn incomplete. Quinn with one of the big plays for Southern today. They got him back in the game in that first half with the 86-yard punt return touchdown.
And this is a team that hasn't lost a football game in a long time.
Since they went to Alcorn State, they won 7 in a row.
7 in a row. Everybody counted them for gone for the rest of the football season in 2014. They rallied, and you have a team like that, you never give up on them. With a quarterback that can throw the football, 3 minutes and 50 seconds is plenty of time if you can get a couple breaks.
Howard hit as he throws. Loose ball. Recovered by Alcorn State's Darian Moody. And right now they're saying that is a fumble. Jameel Cooks came around from the backside to knock Howard free from that football as he was getting ready to throw.
Pressure coming from the edge. That's what they've always done, forcing him to step up, take a bigger step. Instead, he's taking baby steps forward, not creating separation needed. And Cooks comes around and knocks the ball away from his linebacker position. Look at that. Good job of stripping the ball. And then Darian Moody makes the recovery. And that is going to lead to some celebrating in Lorman, Mississippi.
And the Southern fans are saying, hey, was his arm coming forward? I think you look at that, the ball would come out.
Yep. Those are things you have to learn. As a quarterback, if you're going to step up, you take a full step to create that separation. You can't take the baby slides that we saw Howard taking it. Look at that. What a day for the folks from Alcorn State all season long. They've been one of the premier teams in HBCU football. And I believe they're getting ready to be rewarded the 2014 SWAC champions.
Saw the quarterback Howard there on the trainer's table being attended to. Slipping down is Ragsdale. Well, Alabama has beaten Mizzou in the SEC championship game, so
they're in.
Looks like we know at least 2 of the 4 teams.
Yep. And then when I see that commercial, remember when the football season started, it was who's in, and it was Ohio State, such that, they're in. Such that, well, now, of all 100-plus teams, we know 2 that are in, and 2 more places to be filled.
Wake Forest, NC State have begun on ESPN3. We'll join them when we're finished here in Houston. Again, keep in mind the trophy ceremonies on ESPN3 as well here, especially for you Braves fans who might want to check that out. A flag. Tackle made at the 25 by Woodland. The clock stops with 2:53 left.
Holding, 69 offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Second down.
42-13, Alabama beats Mizzou in the SEC title game. So 1 and 2, I think that's pretty well set. That's not going to be any shocker when the selection committee
we give them the check.
Comes out. Yep.
Give them the check. We want to try something different here. Let's go question mark.
And you got another question mark in you? Even though TCU won handily today, what was it, 55-3 over Iowa State?
I'm taking Baylor.
Baylor fans are saying, hey, if we beat K-State tonight, they should be in there. Of course, Ohio State still in the mix. Carry for Aaron Baker.
And I go back to when they were deciding to go from the bowl game to the playoffs. One of the things that the NCAA wanted to do was they said we wanted to make the regular season still count and be meaningful. They've done a good job every week. You know, you had to take care of your business on the football field, and the rankings came out. But if you want the regular season to count, you've got 2 teams that you're wondering who's going to get that 4th spot. I think you have to look, or if they played head-to-head, who won the game. It's not as if, you know, they beat, like Baylor beat TCU without Boykin in the game. Boykin played. There was no major injury factor there. I think you have to say that Baylor won the game. They deserve the spot. In Ohio State, I mean, I just think they're going to be odd man out. I mean, they can look very good, but who do you bump for them? And that's been the tough one with you only take 4 teams when you have 5 power conferences.
4th down. No timeouts left. Southern cannot stop the clock.
They've done a good job there. And that's Mr. Hobson behind him. That's Coach Hobson's father there. He's known as Dr. Hobson around Mississippi, and he has to be extremely proud of his son. His son got the opportunity to turn around his hometown HBCU college in that area. And you have to think the pride that goes along with that. And somewhere, I know Steve McNair is looking down and smiling to see his alma mater back where he thinks they belong.
Braves take the delay game. So while we have a moment, let's check in with Matt Schick in the studio. Matt.
Yeah, guys, right now it's over on ESPN3 and the Watch ESPN app. Wake Forest leads NC State 3-2. As soon as we're done in Houston, that game will move over to ESPNU. Fellas.
Thanks, Matt. And the celebration has begun here in Houston. For the fans of the school from Lorman, Mississippi, Alcorn State Braves are going to go to 10-3. So double-digit wins for Alcorn State this year, and a SWAC championship. The ceremony, the trophy ceremony, coming up live on ESPN3 after the game.
And if you're the punter, you just want to get the punt off.
Especially the way it's gone today.
Yeah, Alcorn punt block has been bad. There's nobody deep to return for Southern University. You just have to take one step. You don't need the full 3-step kick. One step, get rid of it.
And he gets it away. All the way to the end zone and a touchback. With 58 seconds left. Well, we talked about the turnaround here in Jay Hobson's 3rd season, Jay. And big picture, what does this mean for the Braves program?
It means they're back on the map. He has a recipe and a formula that he's implemented. I mean, they're continuing to grow and get better. I always say it, between Alcorn and Grambling State, two of the toughest road trips you can make, period, because of their geographic locations. They're starting to use this to their advantage. They have a fan base that's energized. Jack Spink Stadium is truly their home field, and more importantly, short term, John Gibbs is coming back. Just a junior, he's got another season of eligibility. They've got some players, some wide receivers down there in the state of Mississippi, so I don't think this is the last you heard from Alcorn State. They're not one-hit wonders.
Deontay Short's in at quarterback, throws a strike to Samuel Altman. Wake Forest, North Carolina State. College hoops coming up once we are finished here in Houston. Southern will finish at 9-4 and see their 7-game winning streak into the championship game. And Short's long throw there on the ground was Morgan waiting for it.
And that's going to keep the clock running. He was short of the first down. But one of the proud programs in the SWAC, that close to being back on top. Been a long time.
Trophy ceremony live on ESPN3 after the game. You'll also be able to hear from head coach Jay Hobson. Dropped incomplete with just 3 seconds left. They're just going to let it. Well, it rolls down to 1. Now they say, take it to zeros, and it's over in Houston. Alcorn State wins it 38-24 over Southern, and the Braves are the 2014 SWAC champions. SWAC champions, Alcorn State Braves. Again, ESPN3 for the trophy presentation. Now let's send it to Raleigh, North Carolina. Wake Forest taking on NC State. So long from Houston.